Alright, team, thank you for waiting. It does look like the Discord is having trouble, sadly. Um, so I will set up Corn here and help him out. I don't know why that did that, but it was supposed to do this. There we go. Alright, thank you for dropping into the Discord, Corn. I did set you up for it to work, and that way you don't have to like worry too much about how Discord works. Thank you for being in the chat as well, Corn. That way I can tell you what's going on. Yeah, normally you're just supposed to pick your roles for the Discord server. But you know, it's a little overwhelming. Not to mention the fact that the onboard setup didn't necessarily go through. But is that really a bad thing? No, because you were able to type. But thanks again, Corn, for typing in the Discord and letting me know that you didn't know how, you know, it was done. There we go. I put up a 15-minute timer before we started the stream because... Wait, I'll try to join too. No worries, Tequila Shot. Thank you for trying to drop in there. But yeah, I put up a 15-minute timer before I started the stream because I needed to use the bathroom and I didn't know how long I was gonna take, so I wanted to make sure I had some extra time. Thank you for joining in there, Tequila. I see you in the Discord at the moment. I see that spooky head. I don't remember. Is that the man? Is that the man? What's it called? Rubber Ducky, you're the one. He looks like him from Sesame Street. That's probably like not that, and it's just me. Yeah, spin that random stuff. But thanks again for trying to join Tequila Shot. I hope the server onboarding works. Like I said, you're supposed to be, or no, I didn't say this actually. You're supposed to pick your self roles, but I forgot to say that you're supposed to go to the welcome part to be able to pick the self roles. So you obviously you can see the Darkwood and the feedback and the readme, but you should be going to welcome and pick, you know, the approved role and the other roles that are in there. Let me know if you need more help with that. Or let me know if you want me to just like manually do it for you. I could just manually do it for you. Eventually, I mean, probably there will be a day that'll come that I won't be able to manually, you know, onboard people to the Discord server. But if it's difficult to figure out, let me know. Like I said, you're just supposed to be on the welcome screen and pick roles there. And once you pick the approved role on the welcome screen, which you do by reacting with an emote, you go to the rules screen and react with an emote to remove a role, but that's not really happening. So just react with an emote to get the Discord member 2025 role, you know, role. And once you get to the rules channel, I hope everything I said made sense. Also, I'm cold. I thought I was gonna be too warm, so give me a second to put on a sweater. I apologize for taking your time. Alright. Thank you again, team, for liking the stream. I didn't get the chance to thank you when I wasn't on the microphone, so I'm mentioning it now. What direction am I going here? I think we're just doing our lap, right? We're just doing our last lap because there's nothing else, because the Wolfman's not going to go to the barn. So we're just gonna do a lap around the map and try to get as much loot as possible. Pay the bike man to carry our stuff. Although I hope there's enough alcohol out there to pay bike man to carry our stuff. Yeah, thank you for picking your roles, Tequila Shot, with your PC and mobile. I don't know if it'll let you get the approved role. I'm actually gonna check that right now. Okay, there you go. You got the approved one. I think anyway, it should be. It should be happening. No, okay. It didn't go through for some reason. But thank you for reacting with that. That way I know that the role didn't get applied to you. Let's put the role on you. Myself. Yeah, because for some reason when you react to it, it's not applying it to you. I see the emote you have. Either that or I was just looking at it in a different way. So it did apply it to me. But you're in. Yeah, you reacted with the partying face thing. It just didn't give you the role for some reason. It's just strange. I'm just gonna give it to you manually right now, so you have to worry about that. But thank you, Tequila. We got a PR check. I did not get it. Yeah, that's why I found weird. PR check is already gone. PR check, we already made PR check fly off. But thank you for letting me know, Tequila Shot. I don't know why it didn't give it to you. When I clicked on it, it did give it to me. But it's just weird. I'm gonna double check it right now. After that, you should just be able to go to rules and pick up the role that 2025 Discord server member. Hopefully that one gives it to you. Otherwise, I'm gonna be sad. Oh, I know why I didn't give it to you. Never mind. Okay, I know why I didn't give it to you. Thank you again, Tequila, for helping me test this, because there are things that are overwhelming for me, and I have to make sure work. Yeah, okay. I know why that didn't work. The reason why it didn't work is because there's a role that's supposed to be automatically applied to you, but the bot that I have right now isn't doing that. These are the parts at PO trick. I do know that I did left weapon parts at PO trick because you told me to go back for them. So I do know that for a fact that you left the weapon parts were left there. Let me check if you bought everything from the musicians first before we leave. But yeah, thanks again for helping me test that Tequila Shot. Like I was mentioning, you're supposed to get an auto roll when you join the server. I don't know why that's not happening right now with the bot. And then, you know, with that auto roll, you were supposed to react and get approved. I removed that requirement. That way it works no matter what for anyone in the future. That way they just click approved and then they can see rules and then they can get the 2025 rule. And there you go. At least the 2025 Discord member rule worked, and then you can see everything. But you did everything right, Tequila Shot. I don't want you to think, you know, you messed up or you skipped a step or anything. Everything was done right. Yo, I got notification that I've actually found something very, very cool lore-wise. You can drop it in the chat and in the Discord now, Ridjo. The onboarding process should be better. You're not gonna get the auto roll, but you should be able to get the approved roll once you click on the Discord link and all that. But yeah, let us know what you found out. I saw that you made a post on the Darkwood Reddit. Yeah, but I don't think that's what this was about. We did buy everything from the trader. I wanted to double check that. Thank you for liking the stream. I always appreciate when people drop a like on that stream, since YouTube needs those buttons pressed, and I am not interested in being annoying and just like being like, yeah, drop a like on this stream. Anyway, I don't think there's anything the trader has. I was trying to look and I'm not missing anything. We just started Rich Bro. Yeah, we barely started, thankfully. Hello everyone, it's me, your boy. Hey yo. Hello demons, it's me, your boy. That's like a meme or a short, like a gif from another channel. What? Not in the past. I did see that, by the way. I was trying to walk between them, but I wasn't able to walk between them. I think you were saying hello to Ridjo. I think you, yeah, I think you were saying hello to Ridjo, Corn, and Tequila. I really appreciate that when everybody greets each other. Uh, yeah, hopefully the Discord server goes well. I'm kind of, debating if I should put on that auto roll, because if I put on that auto roll, that means that you won't be able to, troubleshoot with me if something goes wrong. You'll only be able to read the welcome message, and you won't be able to type in the welcome channel. That way, without the auto roll, you can at least type in the feedback or type in the Darkwood gossip saying that, like, hey, I can't see anything else. I think that would be better. Anyway, thank you, team, for bearing with me during the days that I work on the Darkwood, the Discord server. Our houses between. Hey, welcome, Rog Frog. Thank you for dropping in. Hope you're having a good day. Oh yeah, also hope you're all having a good day. Thank you again for the 2 likes that you guys just put on the stream. I always appreciate it. Since we have a large amount of people, or a significant amount of people here, let's just say, I was going to mention that we're not going to stream tomorrow. There's not going to be any stream on Tuesday, aka tomorrow, aka 24 hours from now, because my of work, of my day job. But we will be back on Thursday. On Thursday, we'll be back when we normally end stream. It won't be when we normally start stream. Let me catch up with chat if I missed anything. Thanks again for saying hello to everyone, Rog Frog. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day. Burnt houses. Okay. So burnt house between Dry Meadow and Old Woods. There's the shack near the house, and you can actually see the molds if outsiders there. Burnt houses between Dry Meadow and Old Woods. Oh, you mean this one? There's that shack near the house, and you can actually see the molds of the outsiders there. Yeah, I saw the bodies. I didn't mean to step on that. Oh, look, a crate that's not. Oh, I don't have any lockpicks. I didn't mean to step on that. I saw those models. I didn't know they were outsiders, but we can go look at that right now since I was coming to the Meadow anyway. But I do know what you're talking about. These are quite obviously, now that I think about it, right? These are quite obviously outsiders because they have the gas tanks like the trader do, and they have the. I mean, I don't know if those are flamethrowers, but those what's it called, are weapons like look like the flamethrower, I guess, or that Masiak has. Also, that's not a hallucination. Or that made, see, that's the thing. This is not the hallucination, which is weird because normally when you look at something, it's the hallucination as you're playing the stranger. But when you're looking away, it's the real parts in certain places in the village, and in the signs part here. Called, yeah, in the signs here. Wait, where are those are the signs. Is this Sigma Rog himself? Thank you for saying hi to Rog Frog Corn. Thank you for saying hello as well to Tequila Shot. I'm eating mac and cheese right now, watching stream after a long day in university. It can't get better than this. Dude, I'm glad you get some time to rest after university. We're gonna be back again, like I said, next week on Wednesday. Same time as always. I won't be late because I won't be pushing something like to get instantly at that time. I mean, I don't think I'll be late anyway. Random things can happen. And then, like I said, on Thursday I will be live. Normally, when I end the stream, I'll try to be live like 1 hour or 2 hours before that, but it definitely won't be the same time because I get out of work about the same time, or exactly the same time when I start the stream. So I need to, get home and do stuff before I actually go live. But yeah, Tuesday and Friday there will be no stream, and then Saturday and Sunday, because I'm free, there will be a stream again for conscripts. Remember, starting Wednesday pure conscript. Tuesday and Friday no stream. Hydro Tequila, and Cord. Thank you so much, Frog Frog. Absolute Cinema, Macaroni, and Darkwood. Hope those gas tanks could be for the flamethrower fuel rather than oxygen. Yeah, that's why I was like, it's either these are flamethrower or flamethrowers because of the gas tanks, or it's just a gun, and those are oxygen tanks. But I don't really want to say it's oxygen tanks because the only people that use oxygen tanks are the elephants. It doesn't even look like the trader uses what's it called, oxygen tanks. Cod Screen Hype, thank you so much for that in chat. And that could also be possible people were actually here at the start in the dry meadow, and now that you're here, the outsiders came and burnt it all. And it could also be possible that people were actually here at the start in the dry meadow, and now that you're here, the outsiders came and burnt it all. Yeah, that's something that I didn't realize with the whole hunter's house, right? The hunter's house, and when you told me with it was being burnt. And, you know, that's something that you could add on that could be like, it's not necessarily a confirmation, but you could, you know, assume that the reason why the old woods is so filled up with, you know, a forest and branches and roots is because the outsiders tried to burn that place down first, and it regrew, and that's why also there's the replica of the dry meadow over there in the old woods, because it's trying to replicate the rest of the forest. Anyway, while I was talking, I got sidetracked. I'm just gonna do a zigzag across the map. There's practically going to be nothing that we're gonna find, but we're gonna try. Yeah, we already did all these, and there's no more mushrooms. We already picked all these mushrooms. There's no spooky music here. Actually, you know, I should use the lantern. Oh, I don't have a lantern. I should have used the lantern or brought a lantern to see if there's any, like, secrets in the darkness that we might have missed, because that can happen a lot. Oh, we're just gonna hang out in the dry meadow for most of the day, and then spend the next day in the solid forest, and then finally spend like 1 or 2 days in the old woods to like clear that place up. The brook is down there. I don't know why I normally think the brook is on this side. Like when you started in the dry meadow, people could have actually been there, and the outsiders burnt the houses whilst you were in the southern forest, and now you see the remnants in the old woods. I don't think about it like that. Back in the sense when you started in the dry meadow, people were here. But that does make some amount of sense in the fact that like the southern forest and the old woods have a lot more buildings than the other biomes, or than the dry meadow, sorry. Because in dry meadow you practically only see the dry meadow hideout and the wedding. So I would understand that in the sense that like there is no other buildings in the dry meadow, so that's where people started, but the outsiders burned down every other place. I just the brook is something that you get like 10 seconds to look at, dude. It's the only thing that's like might not be anything, but it's just why is it flashing for like 5 seconds or less? Anyway, there's also probably no loot here, dude. There might be the logs, but there's nothing about those logs, and by that I mean the wood logs. Also, one thing that I'm sad about is that this game doesn't tell me what car this is like it does when we are in the prologue, and you know, playing as a doctor, where he's like, "This is my Polski Fiat," and whatever number it was. And it could have been the hallucination, but when you get to the location in the dry meadow, you'll hear them yelling, "Get out! The truck is here." Yeah, but I would just assume that was on the opposite side of this, like in the old woods side, not in the dry meadow side, unless like you're saying, you know, they meant get out towards the dry meadow. Fiat 125p, yeah, that one. Because from what I googled, and this is what Google said, that was a car that most people did not have in Poland, or yeah, because that was like the only car manufactured at the time. That could be completely wrong, because that's all I got from searching out the name. curious who were those people. Yeah, who the people who were talking to about, like, you know, get out, the truck, we're here. Because the truck was clearly the outsiders. Well, do wonder who the people were, like, talking behind there was. I do feel like it could have been, 126p, not 125p. I do feel like it could have been, something like, you know, the stranger was in the burned houses, because it's, you know, difficult to you know, imagine how he would have any semblance of a memory of what happened at that location if he wasn't at said location, you know. I know I'm saying, you know, a lot right now, but yes, that is what I'm trying to get at, is that it's likely that the stranger was at those burnt houses while the outsiders came to burn the place, because I just find it strange that he knows what dialogue went down there. Yeah, I just find it strange he knows what dialogue went down. Outsiders are the military, and that's kind of it. You can actually find their camp if you get through the basement up to the single tower. Yeah, no, yeah, the outsiders were the military. I'm pretty sure we haven't mentioned that while doing the stream, so thank you for bringing that up, Joe. And it's also not like the easiest thing to find out that the outsiders are the military, not to mention the fact that, you know, whoever the outsiders are. But I just meant more about the fact that, like, I don't know what Corden meant necessarily, I don't want to speak for them, but I just was more curious about who were the people that were like, you know, get out, the truck is here, considering, you know, the people in the truck, as I said earlier, was just the outsiders. But, you know, when I mentioned that, it's very likely that the stranger was one of those people saying, get out, the truck is here, or hearing somebody say that. And again, I can't fathom how he would have that memory. My theory is that the dry meadow used to be crops and farm fields. That's the reason why there are only three buildings. That could also be impossible, because that's because of the wedding down there that has a lot more crops. Because if you don't know, supposedly the crops at the wedding are supposed to be potato plants. The ones that, like, you have to walk through with the petals and stuff. That's what I think anyway, because they look the exact same as the potato plants in the village. So I don't know, what else am I supposed to think, really, team? You let me know what else I'm supposed to think. But I could also think about it because of the fact that, like, you know, the forest isn't letting any other crops grow. So that's why it would be a situation where the dry meadow was used for crops before. The only reason why I'm hesitant to say, oh, the outsiders burned down the dry meadow, or oh, this was actually used for crops, is because it's very green. It's still extremely green. It's still an extremely green. Oh, we need to get the shovel. We need to get the shovel. I remember we need to get the shovel before we leave, so we can dig the underground entrance. But yeah, as I was saying, that's why I'm hesitant to think that this was like crop fields beforehand and they're not crop fields now, or they were burned down by the outsiders, because everything's pretty green, and, you know, there's still but that could be different. That could just be like the forest growing grass instead of being, you know, actual crops, if you want to read it off that way. And the greenery could just be read off again as the forest growing back its grass, instead of being, like, you know, being used for other buildings and not being able to see the remnants of the other buildings that were first burnt down. It could go all three ways in my eyes. Corner, I have a bit on it, actually. I can post it in the Discord if you want. Let me know, as I said, please let me know if there's any trouble with the Discord and joining it and the rules. I assume everything's fine now. Yeah, I assume everything is fine now. Where am I going to? Oh yeah, we're just going up and down here to see if there's anything else. Right now we're only finding, you know, dogs. I do want to check this brook, because like I said, there's really nothing There's nothing that talks about this brook. I was gonna bring it up in the iceberg as well. And not go back? No, I can't go back, right? Yeah, okay, it's all the way over there. I thought it was closer. Meat. Thank you, birds. I am pretty confident that I put some gasoline in this generator. But even though I did that, I mean, I did put gasoline in the generator. But even though I did that, it doesn't flash again. Like, you can come back and put the gasoline in there and you can't flash again. And there's like a body there or something? I'm not sure. Oh look, there's a car! I didn't realize that. You guys ever notice this car in here? It's the same car model as the one up in the burned houses. That could be another like example of replication. This isn't like the burned houses, is it? This isn't like a duplicate of the burned houses. No, because the generator in the burned houses is like to the right of it or whatever. Look, there's a car. I never noticed that. I don't know if we're gonna have time. We're gonna have to come back on their way down to this or to the dry meadow, because I do want to check out the wedding and what's behind there. It's gonna be kind of loud, so I'm gonna apologize. I could lower it if you needed me to, but it's gonna be kind of loud when we go to the wedding, since it's gonna be practically all the yelling and all the, you know, ambiance. But we have to go back home, otherwise we're not gonna get to the hideout in time. Thank you for giving me your lore and, you know, theories and hypotheses on what the explanations for these locations can be. As I said, both things can be possible with the fact that, like, there used to be a field with the dry meadow. That's why we have these crops, and that's why we have the wedding with crops. But, you know, the forest isn't, you know, allowing any other real crops to grow. Just like this, I mean, there's no actual potatoes growing on that. So it's, you know, it's possible. We're dealing with a burning down situation, since the hideout is not burned down, but like it's definitely wrecked. I'm gonna take the heal here. I'll be getting home safe. Could have like pushed for a longer time and gotten back through the southern forest, but I would rather not, and I would rather be able to get more comfortable with this side of the old woods. Since, like I said, there will be a day that we're gonna try to stay in the old woods since the day 0, and that's gonna be a very fun time. Let's just leave it at that. The funny thing is that there's like no evidence of said truck. The only evidence of the outsiders are those 2 bodies, which is pretty good evidence. However, are we to assume that those outsider like models are humans that got grabbed by the roots, just like all the other bodies that are covered in roots around the map? Because I'm sure some of you have seen the bodies that are around the dry meadow and around the sun forest that are like, oh, this dude died of starvation, and then some of them are tied up to a tree, some of them are, you know, around the roots, some of them are at the very edge. Well, most of them are at the very edge of the woods. And yeah, are we to assume that those outsiders were grabbed by the woods and encased, or they are more than likely just you know, the forest trying to replicate the outsiders, and because of the fact that those look like kind of mushrooms, and I'll explain why later on. Well, I was saying why in the iceberg, why they're like mushroom-esque. I mean, I feel like hideouts were definitely used, and maybe even by the outsiders. Old Woods definitely was due to the note, but the oven is also only found at the outsiders' military camp, so yeah, and I don't feel like there's any other situation where there's like somebody can talk about how, not talk about, but there were like the AOE thing. What's it called? The gas that the oven's supposed to release to protect you. I don't think there's any other mention with it besides the outsiders with the gas that's supposed to protect you. There actually is a truck between the old woods and the southern forest, but I don't know. There's even a list of people living there. You might even picked it up. I might have picked it up. We're gonna go to my hideout and then try to look at my items and see if I did pick it up or not. If not, we're gonna go back. I know what truck you're talking about, but if we were to assume that was the same truck, then that would help the case where the outsiders started in the dry meadow, picked up everybody from the dry meadow, went to the silent forest, and that's where the truck broke down, is in the silent forest. Because if we're gonna say, oh, the truck finished at the old woods, then how is the truck stuck in the Southern Forest, like little pit river area? But that's only if that's the same truck the outsiders used. And you said about that list, right? There's even a list of people living there. You might have picked it up. I'm assuming you mean there was a list on the truck of people living there. Those are just drawings. That's just a trophy. That's a torn photo. I don't know, team. Okay, this is random, very random. But why does this look like Markiplier? Alright, anyway. I just needed to say that. I just needed to get off that my chest. That off my chest. Rog Pride helped us out with these ration stamps. Which, like I said, some of these were more related to real history. The Men's Magazine, which is what said, like I said, this was this year's issue, set in 1987. I mean, there's literally a list of residences on the truck with some of them crossed out. Yeah. I just don't know if I picked it up, and I don't ever remember that list. So thank you for telling me about it. I was assuming they would be on said truck, like you said, but I didn't know about it. This Flickr magazine. Bi-weekly for youth. This issue is from 1975. Children's magazine. This year's issue. So it's 1987, and this is 1975. So this was. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows if Rog Park has anything to fill in about these posters. I don't know if anybody can. I can't read these, or anybody else can read these. Not the Flickr magazine. The called. Yeah, the Flickr magazine. Never mind. It was the Flickr magazine. Anyway, note of desertion, which is what we were saying that was in the hideout, the Old Woods hideout that Bridget was talking about before, about how the outsiders left this note here, and that's how it tells you that that's them. They're real life magazines, by the way. Yeah, I just don't know what the context is for this magazine. I can read these. I don't know what I can't read these. That's why I was asking for help. If you want, please and thank you, Frog. I would appreciate it. Unless you meant something else that I was already hovering on. I'm gonna take this time to verify that everything worked for everyone. I'm assuming things didn't work for Ridjo at the time. They're not in the server anymore, I believe. But let me know if I'm mistaken. Anyway, Pumpkin Means Flame is propaganda magazine for young ones. I assumed that was something like that, but I don't wanna talk out of my ass without knowing these. I'm assuming you can't read the other stuff because it's a little too blurred and too messed up. And then this was just another version that we had. We got Chestnut Man from The Musician. And then you got the Chestnut Doll from, again, The Musician. this one was already covered as a real life poster, and this was already put on the Darkwood subreddit at the time, I believe. Oh, you can read that? I thought that would be too small. We can go back to it. But we already covered this one as far as I know. And it's been covered in the Darkwood subreddit. But I'll give you a sec to read this smaller text. I did the server twice and how it literally just disappears whenever I refresh. Yeah, so you have to get the roles in the welcome channel for it not to disappear for you. Yeah, you just gotta get the approved role in the welcome channel by reacting with the whole watering face thing. Sorry about that, Ridjo, but thank you for, you know, telling me that that does work, Ridjo. Like I said, for anybody else that wants to join the Discord server and doesn't want what happened to Ridjo to happen to you, where it disappears once you refresh, you just have to go to the welcome channel and click on the pinned message, which will talk about being getting the approved role, reacting with the emote. I did. Maybe it's because I'm on mobile. Let me try it on the laptop. Maybe it's because you're on mobile. It might just not be working right now. Thanks again, Rock Park, for trying to help me read this magazine, and thank you everybody else for bearing with me while we try to get some of this out of here, because some of this read from the magazine, because like I said, I feel like a lot of the Darkwood lore is a part of, you know, history in Poland. Yeah, okay, let me just give you the roles, Joe, and I'll worry about the whole approved thing or not later. I just gave you the roles, now that you're back in here. Just in case. I don't think you would need to click those buttons anymore. But let me know if you have anything else. So it says, power to the committees, land to the peasants, peace to the people, bread to the hungry. I'm assuming that's what it says here. Thank you so much, Frog. I'm assuming also we would be able to find this magazine in real life, because we were able to find, as I said, people in the Darkwood community and the Darkwood subreddit were able to find this flyer in that was in real life. I can't remember what the details of the flyer was. It looks like 1917 Revolution anniversary or something. Thank you so much, Frog, for helping me out with that. I don't think there's anything else left to read from this Flickr magazine, because that's the only thing that would say their anniversary. And yeah, you read the one that just said flame at the bottom, and here it says flame at the top. I just wanted to verify. Thanks again, and thank you everybody else for waiting. We're gonna try to look for that list now of the residents. Madman Scribbles is just the one for the pig. Oh yeah, I haven't opened that chest either. I haven't opened that chest for the pig. Those doctor's instructions don't mean anything. This is somebody's name, but we can't get the name out of here, obviously. And this is, you know, the dog tag, and we also can't get the year out of here, sadly. It's the creepiest though. That's a little less creepy. I don't know, team. Let me know if you agree with me on this, because it feels like this doll is less creepy than this dude. This dude just stares into your soul. Those back people just endlessly staring into you. Terrifying. Plastic chickens are the ones we found in Janek's house, which he got from the chicken lady. But I find that hard to believe when the chicken lady says he gives them to Janek. Maybe, maybe the chicken lady does give Janek like, I don't know, 5 plastic chickens, but where is the chicken lady getting these 5 plastic chickens, Um I know time's not advancing, by the way. We already know what meat grinder was. That's how they were feeding people at the village without the sow and without the crops. There's not much to decipher out of this, but this was the wooden cross that we got from the Southern Forest. There's an error, so I just refreshed a few times, and I think we're good. I hope we're good. Thank you, Rijo, though, for checking. Let me know if Rog Frog or anybody else tries to join the server and there's any trouble, and I'll clear it up for you. I'll make it work. But yeah, that cross is just the one we found in the Southern Forest, where there were like multiple uh, savages, and there was one savage trying to dig himself into a grave. Then we got the photo of the doctor, which this is supposedly the same lady of that this torn photo is. It could be, it somewhat resembles that. It's not the same photo. I'm just saying it's the same lady. It could be. It resembles that person from this photo. But at first, without people pointing out the fact that this is a child being, carried, at first I thought that was Janek with the doctor, but everybody cleared up where that's the doctor and his wife. And then Korn helped me out with with describing what the siphon does, because I didn't know what the siphon did. I'm sure everybody else, including Rockfrog and Ridge and Tequila Shot, know what the siphon is for. The thermometer was just something that was used with the doctor's notes, where you have to keep the patient warm, right? I just don't know where that doctor's note is about keeping the patient warm. Yeah, here. Keep the patient warm, thermometer with that stuff, I believe. Gold siphon, yeah. Then we got the Madman Scribbles, which was the other part, right? The cross, which I can't remember where we got this cross from. And then go to the wooden cross. I don't want to get political, but the devs have said that one of the main themes is communism destroying Christian imagery. That's why you find those broken shrines. Again, not being political, just saying. That's why I want to separate the video of like the Darkwood lore from the video with the Darkwood lore with Polish history added onto it, because I know for a fact that if we do the Darkwood lore with the Polish history added onto it, it's gonna get political. And not only that, I don't know enough about the culture. I don't know enough about politics in that country. That most I would have to go off Frog and everybody else in the community who are Polish and know about that. But I am planning to separate the videos, because it's really, I don't know about obvious, but it does, when you spend enough time in Darkwood, it does look more like it's about history in real life than just, a scary game lore. They did it in a comment on Reddit. I think I can find it with a bit of digging. Please find it. I mean, I know that's true. I don't necessarily even need to say that I believe you. I know it's true, that they said that. But that, like I mentioned, that's why I'm separating the whole, Darkwood lore as a regular story, than the Darkwood lore as the whole history with Poland. As I mentioned during these streams, a lot of the lore has to do with Polish history that I am not familiar with. Madman Scribbles cross blueprint. I don't know what this cross is from, but I'm assuming by that I mean, like, I don't know where we got the cross from. I don't know where we picked that up from. The blueprint is just from PR Trek, which we already we took care of PR Trek. This is PR Trek. I can't read cursive. I don't know if anybody can read cursive, but not to mention, this is not only is this in cursive, this is also in Polish. In Polish, so I can't read Polish, nor can I read cursive. I don't know if people in chat can read cursive, but I'm not gonna be handy at that. I know this is I know this is a person in your life, I believe, that in history as well. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty confident this was somebody in history as well, and that this was talked about in the Darkwood subreddit already. I can't remember the person's name. Gagarian, yeah, Gagarian. Oh yeah, and Piotrek does say Gagarian when you show him the picture. I don't remember if we showed him the picture. If we didn't show them the picture, I'm gonna be a bit sad. But thank you for telling me that was Gagarian. This was the population list. The sky is dark, Earth is blue. Thank you, Rock Frog. I appreciate your help. I do feel embarrassed to like, annoy you and I keep asking you for help. 1961, yeah. Thank you so much, Rock Frog. Again, first words ever said in space, although it was in Russian. Thank you. Because I like I mentioned, I know that people talked about this already on the Darkwood subreddit, and all the lore on this picture was found out, and like I said, this was a real person. But I appreciate you helping me out in chat, Rock Frog and Ridge Joe. And then, like you said, population list. Where's the population? Where is the population list? I was just on the. Oh no, there was no from the truck. That's what it said. Population list. These are just names. I don't think these are locations. I really think these are just names. This might be something, but I doubt that. And this is just a date. So it was. So Darkwood is set in 1975. And this is the final confirmation that I need. I don't know if you guys knew that or needed a more confirmation to know if Darkwood was set in 1975. I mean, it might be set in 1976 to be specific, because this is a population list before the Outsiders and before the Forest got bad. But you get the point. It says 1975 on this population list, and the magazine, the Gentleman's Magazine, that says this year's issue is 19. Oh wait, never mind. I confused the numbers. Never mind. I'm just dumb. I'm not very good at numbers. 1987 and 1975 are different. So they've been doing this for a long time. Never mind. So the magazine, the Gentleman's Magazine, is 1987, and the population is 1975. So that's a good time window, dude. 87, 1975. I'm not good at numbers, sorry. That's like 12 years, right? 12-year window where people were getting like abducted and burned their houses down by the Outsiders. Good 12 years. Yeah, because it's 1987. So it has been going on for a while. I'm glad that I wasn't wrong on the beginning of the ice route with the prologue when I said that the disease or the plague has been going on for more than 20 years or something like that. Something along those lines. It's been going for like 12 with those notes. And then these are just the random stuff we find in the Dry Meadow. The white dress with the dream from the father of the church dream, and the father from the church that gives us the code. Also, the muddy cross you have is from the Savage burying site, and where the ones is burying himself. That's the ones from the Savage. Then, if that's the one from the Savage where the dude is burying himself, I don't know where the other cross is from. Yeah, I don't know where this cross is from. Where this one's from. If the other one's from the Savage burying himself. But thank you, Richo. It's probably from the village. I just don't know where in the village. Like I said, there's really nothing else here besides packet of cigarettes. I mean, if you want Rock Frog, I would appreciate if you could read this, but like I don't think this matters. I think this is just a brand name of a cigarette, and I think this is just like what you would put on a cigarette brand. I think this is just like a real life cigarette box from back in the day. That's what I am assuming it to be, but I don't think there's anything super interesting, like not even a year here. Thank you again, Richard, for letting me know what that muddy cross was, because I thought it was mixed up with the other muddy cross. The greater for dark, hiding the shadows won't do you any good. They're coming either way. That's from the that's an outsider. That's a note from the Outsiders as well. We can say that this was the first note from the Outsiders. Can't read that one. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think it really matters to begin with, because it's just random packet of cigarettes. The other cross is from Chicken Lady's house in the wardrobe IRC. Okay, yeah. In the wardrobe of the chicken lady's house. I didn't. I was assuming it was in the village. I just didn't know where. And like I was saying a few seconds ago, we can assume that this was uh, the first message from the outsiders. This is the only person I can think of that wrote this message was the outsiders. And this note is attached to the generator in the dry meadow. For those of you who may not know that. Word of the road was in the what's it called? What's in the wardrobe. I don't know if anybody has ever read these words at the bottom here. I don't know Polish, so I don't know what they said. Again, thank you to Rog Frog for helping us out and trying to read what this is in Polish, or what the or translating for us, in English from Polish is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know if anybody has read this. It might have happened and I just forgot about it. It's pretty hard to read though, because that's a Drogado, and I think that's just a Domv. I hope me moving it around isn't annoying. Well, let me know if you need me to put it up. Road home. Yeah, I was assuming it would be the same thing as the photo of the road home would say. And I already know what this book says. I made a post that says Road Home. Thank you, Rock Rock, and thank you, Richo. I already made a post about this. I already found the real life book that this is about. I don't know if anybody has any real life history on this book, because I can't read Polish. I can't actually read this book. But I know that this is, the use of mushrooms in the household, in Polish. I don't know what is, I don't know anything about this book in history, but I know it's real. I know you can read it. I know it's in, the Internet Archive. And, the fifth plastic chick. Actually, I say it's the fifth. It's more like the sixth, because the chicken lady has one. Anyway, team, thank you for bearing with me while we double checked every item that we have before we leave, because, I do want to check that for information before we left. I also need to get a shovel before we leave. That way I can dig in the underground entrance. What do we need for a shovel? We just need a staff. I just need a staff. So we just gotta go to the old woods. No, not the old woods. The Southern Forest, and get a staff from the bodies in the Southern Forest hideout. Alright, hopefully the night isn't uneventful. Hopefully we get a pretty good and exciting night. I am a little bit concerned because of the fact that I don't have that much healing items. But we'll be okay. I don't know where my other lantern went. Maybe it just got used up. Hot mushrooms, life, violin, rotten mushroom, jar of meat, antidote. Yup. There's nothing that useful here. We didn't really find any alcohol. I also never thought I'd be running out of wires to make lockpicks. But you might actually want to buy lockpicks if you're really desperate enough to want to get more loot from those random crates. Since, yeah, there's no, you'll get a limited amount of lockpicks. That's why we're doing these playthroughs, or these let's plays. Is actually the name of the. Oh hey, there's a savage out there. Can you give me a staff? You got a staff? Yeah, give me your staff, please. Or we could just make a fucking shovel and we don't have to worry about this shit ever again. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. What the fuck? I only need one. Also, why are there savages here? That just makes the night easy. I need the chompers to show up. Hey, we got alcohol. Thank you. Let's drop everything else. I don't need all that other stuff. Grab the bandages with alcohol. That's it, right? There's nothing else for me to worry about that. Oh yeah, I was gonna craft a shovel, but I got out of the workbench because I need to kill this guy. But there's only savages showing up. Oh, nice pills. I'll take pills. I'll always take some free pills. The savages do have the best loot. Like the huge dogs and the chompers only have odd meat. They don't really give you anything good. They were crafting the shovel. I think we have to do the durability upgrade. Otherwise it breaks. I'm confident that if we don't do the durability upgrade, this breaks. But if anybody has actually tested the fact that you can, dig out the loot in the underground entrance before it crumbles with a shovel, and knows that you need either 2 shovels or upgrade durability, let me know in chat. But I'm confident we needed 2 shovels because they broke. Oh, the real life flame magazine. Thank you so much, Frog. That's actually gonna be extremely useful. I don't know if you want to drop it by in Discord when you join, or you can just drop it in the Darkwood subreddit or in chat. Feel free to do what is better for you. Acid blood took him. Acid blood took him out for me. Oh, there's no rags, right? None of you have rags. Oh, we can eat the jar of meat. I'm just gonna eat the jar of meat, dude. I'm not gonna carry this shit with me. There's a chomper out there, I think. Sorry, I'll tab for a second to check something. But that was the chomper. He's not gonna show up. Alright, I'm not gonna worry about it. So, I'm sorry. I just was on tab while checking Rockfrog joining the Discord server. And I came back as soon as I heard the growls. Because I didn't want to die. Yeah, sadly the same thing happened to Rock Frog that's happened to everybody else. That's not letting them pick up the role to stay in the server. I believe. Well, I'm just gonna manually give them those roles. And I'll fix that problem in the future. Thank you again, everybody, for joining the Discord server. I apologize for not having the onboarding process, working at the moment, sadly. Well, very nice of you to be patient with me while, doing it manually. I just need this pipe. Oh, no, we don't need to buy anything for the shovel. We already have a shovel. I don't need to buy anything from this guy. I could have bought the staff from him. I didn't remember that he sells staff, dude. Kind of goofy, but still no worries. Yeah, it's fine. I didn't have too much time to test it going on, but I'll make sure it's done properly. I don't know why it wasn't working when you guys are reacting, because I know that you guys are doing the approved one. But it's giving you the regional one. It's just not giving you the approved one. Like, it gives you the continent and it gives you the platform. I just give you the approved one, which is weird. But I'll fix it. Thanks again, team, for working through it with me. I'll fix it once the server's done because I don't want to take up too much time with that. I'm gonna bring these here and put the gas left. I bought everything from Mans, I'm pretty confident, and I should upgrade the shovel because I am very, very convinced that if I don't have better materials, it's going to break when we go there. Also, I found some stuff about the electronic game, but there is no real life version of it. It's just based off of a cartoon, which you can just find on the Darkwood wiki. I never saw that in the Darkwood wiki, that it was based off of a cartoon. The electronic game, anyway. Thank you for mentioning it, Virgil. But yeah, we're gonna double check that we bought everything from the trader that we need anyway. Should buy more pills, but we're not gonna be able to carry pills to the forest. Actually, we're gonna buy the pills and use them to take up less time to get back home. Like I said, we're not gonna be able to buy the pills and we're not gonna be able to carry the pills with us anywhere else, so might as well pop these. Alright. Going all the way to the dry meadow and to the underground entrance. We're gonna dig out the underground entrance first, and then we're gonna get out, go to the wedding, break down the wedding stuff, and then search the last few parts of the dry meadow one last time. Oh my, 2 dogs. After we search the last like little section of the dry meadow right in front of the silent fortress one last time, we will. Oh, hold on, I need to not die for a second. Sir. Thank you, sir. Holy. I needed that guy dead. Jeez. Don't you dare bring another. Okay, that guy's fine. I don't care. I like how that guy just shows up, randomly chucks a rock on me, refuses to elaborate, and leaves. Alright, bye. Bye, bro. I hope you enjoyed throwing a rock at me, I guess. I don't know. Looks like they just took the Nintendo's console and slapped on some Russian text to make it a copy. The devs, I mean. Yeah. I thought it would have had a real life counterpart. Like, practically everything that has a year attached to it. Good night, guys. No worries, Corn. Good night. I will see you at the end of October with more Darkwood. Good luck with your day tomorrow, and take care. Thank you for dropping in and hanging out. Oh. Eat this Autobeat. Thank you for saying good night to Corn, Rijo, Rogfrog. No, the game is real. I believe you, Rogfrog, but I didn't have you tell me that it was real. I didn't have you tell me that the game console was real, the electronic game. Okay, we made it all the way down. I don't need the pills because we've been eating odd meat, and odd meat gives us the endurance. But I also don't know what the electronic game is. Sorry, that's a different topic, but I don't know what the electronic game is in real life. Like, what its counterpart is. I haven't been able to find it anyway. But thank you, Rogfrog, for speaking up about it. Alright, we're going straight to the underground entrance. Nothing else matters. We checked everything. Used everything that we can. Sure, there's some crates that we can open, but I don't have enough wire, and buying the wire is going to be time consuming, to say the least. The console is definitely real, but I'm sure that the whole copy thing. Oh, you meant like they slapped Russian on it, and you know, put some of the put the like reference to the show on the real console. Because I know that's like a real Game & Watch handheld thing or whatever. Like, I know the electronic game is a real Game & Watch handheld thing or whatever, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure what Rijo's saying is that they just slapped on the Russian and the what's it called, cartoon on there as a reference. This is not the underground entrance. But however, you can just clear that up. So history goes like that. The Russians bought some Nintendo consoles and just copied and started their own production in Russia. That's what I thought it would be. And it wasn't something, but I'm still curious if it's something where, like, you know, Acid Wizard slapped on the game or the reference of the cartoon onto the game, or if that game console from Russia also had that game that's pictured on the electronic, you know, console. That makes sense. Like, let me just pop it open right now to make it a little more clear. Where's the electronic game, dude? Oh no, I gave it to him. We can't look at it anymore because we gave it to him. A blurred chalk written sign on the ground says, "It's here." I've never seen him do the line, dude. I've never seen him do this line. We did skip a bit of dialogue that I didn't know was gonna trigger because I was already sprinting. Oh, I didn't know I've never seen this. I've never seen him put fire. I've never seen him do the line. And then that's, you know, Polish for "it's here," I'm assuming, or "here," I'm assuming. And then just put the characters on it. Yeah. The electronic game being that way. By the way, I have no idea how to translate it to English. It must have an English equivalent that isn't the actual translation. I hope. Anyway, because we didn't come in here first, this shouldn't be, yeah, this isn't collapse. So normally what's supposed to happen when you first play Darkwood is you know, start at the hideout 1 in the dry meadow. The only thing you can see on the map is the dry meadow hideout and the underground entrance. You come here to the underground entrance and you go right towards the light. Nobody ever goes towards the darkness, like, ever. I've never seen anybody go towards the darkness. And then once you go towards the light, there's a whole, like, little interaction thing where the tunnel collapses, and then people need to get what's it called? If you don't make the tunnel collapse and you go left first, people miss out, you know, on this, which says the tunnels were crushed by enormous roots, the rubble, and then you could just dig it with your, you know, shovel. But you need to dig twice because, you know, there's just a lot more roots in the way for you to dig if you don't have an upgraded shovel and if you can't dig through here twice. There's the corpse. And like I said, you do need the upgraded shovel, otherwise it was gonna require 2. Remember that. It requires you to bring you 2 other shovels if you don't have better materials, which doesn't actually exist in the console versions. That's what's sad. That's what's sad. But there, you don't really miss out a lot on this in the console versions. It's just loot and it's just randomized. But that's all we went for there. We're not doing the whole thing with the doctor yet. We're not leaving yet. Put the console on the Discord. Thank you so much, Rock for doing that. We got another broken tree marker. They don't really say anything about it besides these corpses, right? That are here. That Ridjo told us about. This was one that was hidden under the tree. That Ridjo was the one that brought up to me. There's really nothing else beside that, like, weird hidden corpse there that you can't even tell is a corpse for you to search. We're gonna go to the wedding now and break down the barriers, and then we're gonna go search, you know, this last area, like in the burnt houses and above the burnt houses. There's probably nothing there, by the way, but we're gonna look through just in case. Thank you for sticking around with me, team, and watching the stream today. I know I was a little bit late on the Discord servers being a bit goofy, but we'll fix it. I appreciate you putting up with some of the mistakes I've made. It's very nice of you. Poor dog was eliminated. I'm gonna lower my headphones because this is gonna get really loud. Let me know if you need me to actually lower the in-game sound effect. I'm pretty sure it's lower for you than it is for me, but you know, I could be wrong. There's not much out here, by the way. There's just an extra space that most people don't end up looking at. There's this truck right that you can search. You know, we already searched that truck. You can get a part for PR Trek ship on this truck, which is what I was coming for. I don't know if it's randomized which parts they are or those who are being used. And then, you know, there's a metal door that you can't go back to, but there's nothing else here to look for besides that truck and this generator. There's no, like, hidden object or anything, and I can't get through the door where we did the dance thing. Welcome back, Rachel. Yeah, I can't get through this door where we did the dancing. I don't think there's any, like, leftover lore in this location besides the fact that this pig is still alive, chomping away at that human flesh, you know? Actually, this is a different oven than the one we have at the house, so that's the one we have at the hideout. That is a curious thing to see, that there is an oven here. Just like the Cyrillic on the console, but I don't think it's necessary. Alright. We're gonna go back up again and search these last few areas. And then once this night is over, I'm probably going to take a break in game day. I don't think we'll be able to search too much in the old woods, but we'll try. I mean, I also don't think there's anything else in the Silent Forest, since we already looked through the dry meadow and we didn't find anything. We were just in the Silent Forest at the beginning of this week of these 7-day streams, you know? Well, it's not 7 days now, it's 6 days now because I won't be able to stream them all, but you get the point. And yeah, the map looks pretty filled out. The reason why I wanted to come up to the dry meadow is because this looks empty, but I feel like that's just the way it is, you know? I'm pretty confident that there's nothing else at the burnt houses that I'm actually missing either. And if you put in the iceberg, I definitely can't, but like seriously, it wouldn't be a big deal if it was translated. Yeah, no, I don't think it matters too much. I mean, I will put in the console in the iceberg, but it's not gonna be like a big, what's it called? Like one of the final pieces towards the end of the video is what I'm trying to say. It's just gonna be a small footnote, if anything. But it's what's more important is the real life book for like the mushrooms, so it might not even get mentioned. If there's nothing here, I mean, I can get more odd mushrooms, right? There really is nothing here for us to gather. The post for the Discord server isn't on the community page yet, just because I was really working on it the entire time before I started the stream to get the server to you, so I only had the time to put it in the you know, stream as a pinned message. But I think that's also good because of the fact that like some of the Discord stuff isn't working right now with the self rules. So once I actually have it, you know, where it works, I will add it on. There's no other locations here. There is the little divot of woods up there that's just random. I don't know why they made the map like that. Yeah, it's just that little divot of woods. There's nothing here. It's just pure emptiness on this side. Broken tractor's right next to the wedding, and the shrine's the only location here. We're gonna go to the old wood, or not the old woods, the southern forest now. Spend some time searching here at the bottom side. Because, you know, obviously we're going to get closer to the old woods. And then, you know, spend the last few, or the last day or two. I think we'll only get one last day after we search the old woods properly. Well, we only get one last day to, search the old woods before the stream ends, and then we end the stream on the swamp location. Which I think is pretty neat as a, like, climax, as a ending. That we can continue the let's play through streams after Darkwood, after October, or, you know, I can continue it through videos after October. But that's the plan, team. The let's plays for Darkwood are coming back. That way I can fully focus on editing the icebergs, and then we can have fun with the conscript. Also, my weapons are all broken, and I didn't realize that until now. Did not acknowledge the fact that I have no board with nails available. Sir. That was the wrong way. Can't even get me. You can't even touch me, bro. Can't even touch me. Much fine, nerd. Thank you. That guy's already dead, by the way, if you're curious. The one in this truck, taken care of. And this is the other cottage, which I'm not sure if you really want to say this is like a part of the place that was burnt down, but the generator got destroyed by somebody. It just feels more like it got enveloped by the woods than anything else because of the roots. We're gonna hold left and go up. That way we were already on their way. Not hold left, hold right and go up. That way we were already on our way to the old woods and the hideout up there. Then, you know, next day we can go check out. I forgot to turn on my lamp. My lantern, not my lamp. Oh, nice. They're fighting each other. Thanks, dog. Appreciate it. Don't you dare, dog. Yeah, I think these are wood logs that we didn't see before because we didn't come out here, but none of this really matters. If anything, the wood logs are just like examples of villagers and people trying to escape the woods by cutting down trees and then just giving up because there's no more attempts at that. And that's why there's more wood logs in the southern forest and the old woods than the dry meadow, with the dry meadow only having one or two. Yeah, the dry meadow only has two in the entire biome. This place has more. I just haven't filmed them yet, but yeah, a lot of more than just these big ones. They have the little ones all over the map as well. Got another shrine, which is curious because it's the same shrine as the one in the dry meadow now. I don't think it really does mean anything besides it being the shrine similar to the one in the village with the shiny stone that you can steal. You just got throw a rock at my face. There's nothing else here on the edges though. We're pretty good in sense of searching. In the sense of where it's searching. We're probably just gonna cross the bridge now and head straight back home. By the way, you want to be reminded about the embryos? Oh, thank you for reminding me about the embryos, so we can take them and use them in the swamp. I really appreciate that, Tequila. I mean, I do think that them cutting down woods for escaping is possible, but they cut the trees into logs and maybe even into smaller chunks that I think can be on the right of the location. Sorry, I have to get back before I keep reading that. Oh, I should take the pill. Get me back home, please. Yeah, there's really nothing here. That corner over there towards the right, there will be nothing there either. The embryo will be here with the where the spider is. The embryo will be at this spider, and the embryo is at the Sun and Forest entrance. I don't think there's any other embryos besides this spider one, and the Sun and Forest entrance one, but Peter, correct me if I'm wrong. But I do think them cutting down woods for escaping is possible, but they cut the trees into logs and maybe even into smaller chunks that I think can be seen on the sprites of the location. Yeah, you can see the fact that they made them into smaller chunks from even smaller than the logs. But they also did that in the village when they were trying to cut through the entirety of the village. Thanks again for reminding me about the embryo tequila shop. But those actions, they did seem more akin to making them firewood rather than escape. That's why I was silent, so I could stop and think about what we were getting at. But like I said, I feel like those chunks and those smaller pieces are also there in the village when they try to cut down through the woods. No, I'm torn on those locations. Yeah, I agree. I'm torn on a lot of things in Darkwood. In terms of lore and explanations. Can I get home safely, please? Ow, dog. Oh, I can't see shit! Dog, I swear. Please fuck off, dog. Dude, where am I? Dog. Dog, I swear, dude, I have no time and you're just being such a pain. Where am I? Do I have a lantern? No, right? No. It ran out. I should, no, it says I'm here. Don't kill me, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I'm an innocent man. Please don't kill me. Where is my house? There is a bear trap there. I am searching for a house. So if my house has to be down now, I guess? There we go, okay. There's the house. Alright, you made it back, team. It was hard to see, but we're alive. We got here. There's something out there. Please don't come in my house right now. I'm not ready. Sir, I'm not ready. I am not ready. I am not prepared. Where are my other players? Alright, well, who cares? Wait, no, actually, I should just make the lantern. There we go. We're fine now. Nothing to worry about. There's definitely not a chomper or a banshee out there trying to stalk me. I see chat moving. I will read once I feel like I'm safe. Yeah, I will read once I'm dealing with this guy. Alright, there we go. There's another one out there. There's another chomper out there. I'm just gonna go around this corner. Also, this is a small thing, but could you maybe try to kill that sleeper that's by the house between the dry meadow and the silent forest? Wondering what would happen. You mean the one like literally right outside the Sun and Forest entrance, right? I kill them all the time. Nothing happens. Crazy, yeah, crazy night to try to get back home. That's just a dog. Alright, hold on. Oh, come on. There we go, that's what I wanted, right? First that one. Then we pop the pill. Oh god, never mind, the plan's different, the plan has changed. The plan has changed, the plan has been altered. How did I not kill you, dog? I missed. I'm so upset. I'm so upset, dude. I am upset. I am upsetty spaghetti. Brother, please help me. Oh, do your stupid animation. Alright, no, I can't do that now. I can't do that now. I might die if I risk it. If I risk it. Okay, good, he's good, we're good. There's another chomper in here, by the way. I don't know if you hear him, he's in here. You're dead, okay, great, fantastic. I heard somebody else stippy steps. You hear him, I know you hear him, he's out there. Fucking terrorizing the land. Sir, do you really want to die so badly? Oh wow, okay. Okay, he's dead. Easy clap. Nah, dude, I am not losing all my loot. You're not killing me either, fuck you! That was close, it's still close, I can still die. Okay, we're good. I just realized there's blood splatter on the corners of the screen whenever you get hit. And another one! I think the reason why that's happening is because of acid blood. I could be wrong, because that normally doesn't happen. But I'm pretty sure that's happening because of acid blood. Anyway, that was a hectic night. I could have died. I technically did not. Thankfully did not. You know, that's, I don't know how many days on the streak of us not dying in the old woods that night. I may have died in the old woods, but I haven't died at night. No, don't repair that one. Don't repair the shovel. I don't need the shovel. Throw the shovel in the trash, dude. I don't need that thing. It's garbage. Trade. What do I trade? Yeah, the pipe. What's the middle pipe? And then we take some pills. That's practically it. We can buy a ton more stuff, but we don't need it. We don't need any of that. I'm just gonna eat it, the odd meat for no reason. I don't know, I didn't need to. I didn't even need to hold these, what's it called, players on me either. Pills, put the pills in here. I cannot wait until I get out of here because I'm bothered by this inventory management. I am not doing a good job at inventory. I'm managing my inventory. I just want to leave and not worry about all this junk on the floor. Swamp today. Swamp not likely today. Swamp's probably gonna take place on the last or second to last day because we want to get ending on it. But I still have a bit to search in the Sun and Forest, and then we're gonna come up to the old woods to search today. Yeah, we're gonna do more. We're looking more to the left side of the Sun and Forest because we looked on the right side. We're gonna kill the sleeper because Richard wants to see what happens. Even though I've killed the sleeper before and it doesn't really do anything. I always kill that sleeper unless I'm streaming or doing a let's play. But yeah, we're gonna check the left side of the Southern Forest today, and then we're gonna check out the old woods as well today. Thank you for asking, Rock Frog. And then we're likely gonna be done with the old woods today. There's really not anything in the old woods. Like, I don't know. Do you guys know any point of interest in the old woods that like most people miss out on? I feel like the old woods doesn't really have anything that's like hidden. I don't feel like any of the biomes have anything that are hidden if you explore enough. Like, sure, if you are in the old woods and aren't exploring, you aren't gonna miss out on the church ruins or the hunter's house or the barn ruins. But like, you'll see that those places are empty. So it's not like there's anything that we're really missing out on. We're just gonna have a quick look again through the Sunlit Forest and through the old woods. I doubt I'll take a longer look at the old woods. It's very likely that tomorrow we're gonna go to the swamp and we might play like a day or two in the swamp. But yeah, this day in game we're gonna, you know, look at the Sunlit Forest on the left side and the old woods one last time. Thank you for asking, Rogfrog. I appreciate you wanting to know. However, we are gonna, or I am gonna take a quick break. I'm not gonna leave anywhere. I might use the bathroom, but I probably won't. But yeah, we're gonna take a quick 15-minute break since it's been 2 hours. Has it been 2 hours? Well, it hasn't been 2 hours yet, but it's almost gonna be 2 hours. So I'm gonna put up the timer, and we're just gonna hang out for a bit. I'm gonna look into the Discord because, you know, I have to make sure that Discord is working, since it was a little goofy at the start. But thank you, team, for hanging out with me and sticking around. I'll go take a shower, so if you don't come back, have a great time, y'all. No worries, Richo. I said we'll be back on Wednesday. Good luck with your day. Good luck with everything else you have to do. And thank you for coming by and talking with us. Sorry for being quiet there, team. I was looking at the Discord, but I definitely don't feel like I can do anything with it until we end the stream. I'm gonna have to wait, otherwise it's just gonna take up too much of my attention and I'm gonna be too distracted. But I appreciate you guys joining. I don't think we'll be finishing Conscript in 2 days, since we're going to be having, you know, Wednesday, Thursday. But we can go ahead and look at a website called How Long to Beat to know how many hours, you know, most people say they take to beat. Yeah. So it seems like Conscript is gonna take a large amount of time, which I don't mind, by the way, in 2 days. I don't know about that. Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to do it in 2 days because of the fact that it's 12-hour long of a game, from what it says on this website, or from what I'm to beat, which is just, you know, people end up putting how long it takes them to finish it. And oh wow, DRM free. Damn, look at that. Yeah, and what's it called? Brain. Yeah, I won't be able to do more than like 6 hours in 2 days. This is gonna be 3 hours per day for Conscript. So hopefully we get it done either on the weekend, like Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, since that will be more than 12 hours by Monday to beat the game. I would be confident about beating it in 12 hours if we actually got the stream on Friday, but we don't get the stream on Friday. So it's probably gonna be a like finisher for Monday, if not Tuesday. But I don't know my schedule for next week yet, so that's why I don't want to confirm or get anybody too excited with that. So appreciate everybody wanting to watch Conscript and the suggestion with it. I think I also messed up something with the bot, since the bot is supposed to notify the bot's supposed to notify people when the stream happens, but that notification didn't go through this time. So I'm not sure what happens on that end, but like I said, we'll take care of it once we're done with the stream. And that way we can actually, you know, converse outside of stream. Did you beat Gwyn? I missed this last stream. Yeah, I remember you telling me that you weren't available to watch the Dark Souls one. By the way, I only say that it does have multiple endings, that's what I'll only say. Oh, that's useful to know. Because this doesn't tell you anything. Like this website only gives you a time frame, right? Like, you know, and it gives it to you on consoles too. But it doesn't tell you like, oh, how long it told you to do the first ending or the second ending or this or that. Thank you for asking, Rog. We did in fact beat Gwyn. We also were able to beat Manus. I know you knew you had confidence in us in beating Manus, but yes. Gwyn was taking out, although it took 4 hours, not like 4 hours in total to beat Gwyn. It took 4 hours in the stream to beat him. It took like 2 hours at most to actually beat him after we got there and got the buckler shield or whatever. And not even with the target shield, but yeah, it took 2 hours or less to beat Gwyn. Overall, the first 2 hours are beating Manus. Yeah, we finally finished the Dark Souls playthrough. We're gonna move on to another Dark Souls game after the October event. With Darkwood, you get an ending based on your actions. It's good to know. I always like looking at this website since, as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't give you any spoilers of it. It just gives you time on how long Conscript would take. I know that the timer's blocking the screen, right? Don't get me wrong, but it's a good, you know, idea. Anyway, like I said, because Rock Frog was kind enough to ask, we will be coming back with Dark Souls after the October event, and like Tequila Shot was not kind enough to ask, we'll be coming back with the Reclamation series for Minecraft once October is over. I'm probably not gonna get to do Fear and Hunger, since after we do Conscript, we're only gonna have 1 week left for streaming. So what we're most likely gonna do is we're gonna go off with No I'm Not Human, because I think No I'm Not Human is a really cool game, and then we will do the final station if we have time. Now, what are the shiny stones? The shiny stones, I didn't want to mention it because there would be spoilers until you get to the second part of the game. That's funky. But yeah, sorry, I was just reading at the Discord right now. Welcome back, Richo. I was just reading the Discord right now after you said I know what are the shiny stones. The shiny stones are... Uh, like I said, I didn't really bring it up because it's a lot of spoilers to tell you what the shiny stones are. But they look like beans when you inspect them. Welcome back, Richo. Thank you for sharing the post in the Darkwood lore channel. Is there any way to explain what the shiny stones are without spoiling the lore, the game? Because figuring out what the shiny stones are the biggest part of the game. They're a bigger part of the game than knowing that what the outsiders are and the fact that the military are burning down the forest and burning down houses and those who the outsiders are. I feel like figuring out what the what's it called, shiny stones are. Feel free to drop it into the Discord though, Rockfrog. Like, don't like hesitate to drop that information into the Discord. Feel free to drop any kind of like lore in the Discord of any kind, even though it's spoilers. I'm pretty confident anybody that sees the Darkwood discussion channels and sees something that a text channel that's called lore, what's it called? Yeah, I'm pretty sure if people see the Darkwood discussion channel and see a text channel that says lore, they will know that that will be filled with spoilers. Shiny stones are the results of the day the forest became horror. That is a good way to explain it without spoilers. Thank you, Rijo. Sorry for the car outside because of the, highway. Thank you for being patient with me while I take my break, team. As your boy Solid Snake says in the gifts that I have up, I better take a 15-minute break every hour. Even though technically now it's 2 hours, but hey, we tried. We try our best. Alright, team. I'm gonna cut the break a little early here. Just because I feel like I'm ready. And I don't feel like I could do anything else in that amount of time. Yeah, as you said in the rug or in the rug in the Discord rug, that's what the shiny stones are. Or Savage is so obsessed about them. Damn, 8 years into this game still can surprise me. Yeah, as you said in the Discord, that's what the shiny stones are. What's it called? Sorry, hold on. That's what the shiny stones are. Let's just put it that way. That's what the purpose are behind. That's where they come from. And I didn't even think about that part where you said Rockpug, where it makes sense now why savages are so obsessed with them. I didn't put that part together until you put it in chat. But yeah, let me change the overlay. I already changed the overlay. Let me actually get into the game then. Alright team, we bought everything, we're pretty much done, alright, there's really nothing else to do. We're gonna go all the way back down. To where the Sun and Forest is, kill that sleeper, and come back, search the old woods a little bit more. And then head to the swamp. Yeah, so it's probably gonna be tomorrow. In game tomorrow, by the way, not in real life tomorrow. Again, no stream's gonna happen tomorrow. I will not be able to stream tomorrow because of my job. But in game tomorrow, we're gonna go to the next part, chapter 2, aka the swamp, aka, you know, progress. There's always something I step on. Also, there's this weird shit, by the way, that I know not a lot of people know about, and it's really hard to, I mean, you could easily say, oh, it was the outsiders, but I'm sure at least one person watching this, either live or, you know, on the VOD, will be astounded by the fact that you could just torch this rock, and I think there's loot below it. Yeah, there's loot below it every time you see a rock that looks like that, there's loot below it. I don't know what the explanation behind this is. I don't know what the lore for this is. Like, obviously, most of the stuff like this can be explained away by, oh, it was the outsiders that dug up the crate below this rock. These rocks, I think these rocks are only in the old woods, and also, you know, the swamp, but not in the Sun and Forest and not in the dry meadow. But there's really like no other explanations for those rocks besides, oh, you know, the outsiders put it under a rock, put the crate under a rock. Which is just like these random little things that you never see or you never guess. Wait, what the fuck? See, I had a feeling Tequila Shot and other people didn't know about that. Yeah, there's just random rocks you can just fucking shove, and like the crates are not locked. I don't like I said, I'm pretty confident they're not in the Southern Forest or in the Dry Meadow, but they are in the old woods, and they are in the, what's it called? In the swamp. Who found that shit? I know who found it first. I can't remember if somebody told me about it, but I'm pretty confident I didn't find it myself. Pretty sure somebody else told me about that. Oh, I love that shit, dude. I love this. No, I wanted to watch the History Channel. No, I wanted to watch the Discovery Channel. Fuck you. Dog, I was watching the Discovery Channel. I was watching the Wild Savage hunt a dog, or a dog hunt the Wild Savage. That would have been so fun, but no, you have to ruin it. You have to ruin it. Yeah, I'm pretty confident I know about this, actually. I'm pretty confident somebody told me. I don't know if it was you, Rock Frog, or if it was Ridjo, or if it was somebody else, but I'm more than convinced that I didn't know about that rock and those rocks having crates below them that are not locked in the old woods and in the swamp. More than convinced somebody in chat or in a comment told me about that. Can't remember who, so I apologize, I'm very sorry, but I don't think I figured that out for myself. Oh yeah, we gotta come back here anyway for the embryo. Hey, yo. Nothing happens if you kill this guy, by the way. If we didn't already kill this guy. We already killed that guy, yeah. He's already dead. Nothing happens. We kill him like every time. Every single time we murder the man. So, yo, what up? There are only 3 embryos in the entirety of the map. That, without including the Banshee event, the Dry Meadow Banshee event embryo. By the way, don't even get me started on the Banshee Dry Meadow event. The passive Banshee Dry Meadow event. I don't know how many of you were here to see that. I know a lot of you know about it. But why there's a Banshee that doesn't try to kill you and just leaves behind a shriveled up embryo in your house after putting a nest down, beyond me. But that is just something that gives me a lot of questions. There's one rock by the train and one by the anti-tank gun. I think I have both covered. Look, guys, if you all want a trip of your life, just visit my channel and you'll be reshaped and reborn by the Darkwood brain rot. I've gotten it in the run. I'm glad you've seen it, because like 99% of people, if not 90% of people, have not seen the passive Banshee event. There's one rock by the train and one by the anti-tank gun. Am I gonna die? No, I'm not gonna die, but I will need to heal. I already killed that guy, we already searched that side. We're just gonna hold left now. And hold left on the way back up. Hey, look, it's a trap that I could have stepped on. Because if you all want a trip of your life, just visit. If you want a trip of your life, just visit my channel and you'll be reshaped and reborn and by the Darkwood brain rot. Yeah. Richard has made scrutinous amount of attempts and put scrutinous amount of time, I hope I'm using that word correctly, into, you know, archiving Darkwood. So much so that I have not given myself the time to look into that completely, because there's a lot of repositories of the Darkwood repository in Ridgeville's channel. Yeah, see, they have these smaller ones, like they're getting planks, right? This is another reason why I think it's still them cutting down the forest when they do these log locations that you see across the map. Because even when they do the village, they have these smaller pieces, but they're still cutting down these trees so they get their home back to the village. That's why I just assume that each log location is them trying to cut down the trees and get rid of them. I think I killed every single elk in the game. I also don't think the elk respawn, since I've died like 3 times, if not more. I don't think elks ever respawn. Oh, did I get this embryo? Yeah, I think I did. Can I get another bug here? I might be able to get another bug here. I did get one. Thank goodness. Like I said, let me know if there's another embryo that I'm missing. There's only 3 in the game. The one in the entrance to the Southern Forest, the one in the actual Southern Forest where I'm at right now, and the one in the Old Woods, which we got yesterday, in-game yesterday. Besides, you know, the embryo that I went on that I rambled about in the Dry Meadow. I don't think there's anything else. Pietrik's house, we already know Pietrik's house. There's really not going to be anything on the corners. I mean, we could really hug the corners and find those bodies that we were talking about. That, like, yeah, these corpses, but not that corpse specifically, the ones that are tied up. The ones that are actually attached to the trees and the ones that are, like, starving and stuff like that. We see more of those in the swamp than anywhere else. At the edges of the swamp still. At the edges still in the swamp. Alright, we're eating this again. I think none here have ever seen Heartbeat Night event. I've heard of the mythical Heartbeat Night event. I don't think I have seen it. Ridgel might, I'm pretty confident Ridgel has that logged, because I think the only one that Ridgel doesn't have logged is the, raid, the fire, the fire event at night where they surround the, like, deer with fire. They're not at the top yet, we're still hugging right. I'm trying to find one of those bodies. I think that's one right there. Yeah, that's one of the bodies. Bye, nerd. Yeah, this is one of the bodies that Tequila Shop mentioned. This poor bastard probably died of starvation. But it's still one of the savages if you see him. And there's others that were tied up to trees, which we hopefully come across. I don't know if we will, but hopefully we come across them. I know the ones that are tied up to the tree are more in the dry meadow. I don't know if there's a reason for that. Yeah, this poor bastard probably died of starvation. I don't know if there's a reason for the fact that the ones that are, what's it called? Tied up to trees are in the dry meadow more than anything. But hey. Poor bastard probably died of starvation, yep. That's the same savage. It's hard to see there, but that's still the same savage. That's an elk that we killed. I have 2 videos on it. Yeah, I had a feeling. I haven't seen it, that's for sure. Yeah, I actually got... thank you for the like, whoever gave another like to the stream. I always appreciate when everybody drops a like here. I actually got that event as well, but I realized that the body and the fire is almost always randomized, so now I'm resetting every night to cover them all. This is where the dude that's digging himself is. I attacked him. I attacked him, he's dead, he's killed. There's no... Is that a body that's tied to it? No, that's the elk. No bodies tied to trees, that's just another body of somebody who's starved, died of starvation next to the tree. But I'm trying to look for the ones that were tied up to the tree, because if I don't find them, it kind of just means that they were at the dry meadow more than anything. When we're gonna go look at them once we, what's it called, finally end up going towards the swamp tomorrow. Yeah, because it doesn't seem like there's any of the bodies tied up to trees or tree trunks at this side of the forest. Look at all those eggs dropped everywhere, man. Look at all that loot. Hey, welcome in chat. I can't read your name, but welcome into chat. I apologize for not being able to read your name, though. Thank you for dropping in. I hope things are going well for you. How your day's going well. Tying to trees seems to be a ritual for the savages, because even the protagonist was tied to a tree as seen by the military camp. Probably symbolizes people getting eaten by the woods. I don't know what you mean by the protagonist was tied to the tree as seen by the military camp. I missed out on that, dude. But like the reason why I bring it up is because I don't see anybody being tied to a tree outside of the dry meadow. There might be some in the old woods, but I never really explored the old woods that well to be able to tell you. We will be exploring the corners of the old woods on our way, this left side anyway, because I pretty much checked all the other sides. Checked this shit, I checked this shit, I checked this shit. Checked the south side of the old woods, I checked the fucking east side of the old woods, I haven't checked the west side. So we're just gonna check the west side, or make our way back up to the hideout, and then once we get to the hideout, next day is gonna be swamp, and then after swamp, not after swamp, right before swamp, we're gonna go check the bodies that are tied up to trees if we don't find any in the old woods. Thank you for saying hi to thank you for saying hi, Rock. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry, but thank you for dropping in chat and thank you for saying hi to Dimitri? Question mark. Consider Joe referred to them as that. Could be wrong. Don't want to make bad assumptions. This corpse will explode. Yeah, there might not even be any other bodies that died of starvation out here in the old woods. Like I said, I've never necessarily searched the corners of the old woods since the old woods are pretty dangerous. But yeah, enough. Even though the old woods is pretty dangerous, it's more like the corners of the old woods are the safe sides because that's not where enemies spawn. I don't think this train track, like this point of interest for the train track, means anything. I don't know if any of you think it means anything. I've tried to look at it, I've tried to come down here and search for stuff, but there really isn't anything that we can gather in terms of information or story from these train tracks. Especially considering the train wreck always spawns randomly and you don't know how that's gonna show. When you escape via the signal tower, you'll come across outsiders tied to the trees and hold on, I need to keep searching right now. Broken tree. This is the broken tree. No, that's no, yeah, this is the broken. That's question mark. This one is question mark. Old woods. I've been in the old woods for a while. I guess it didn't count because I was at the corners. We're a broken tree right now. I stepped on that sadly. Gonna try our best to get around these. When you escape via the signal tower, you'll come across outsiders tied to trees, and one person escaped the tree, and later on you can see the outsider's suit on the scarecrow protagonist switch suit. I do remember the scarecrow situation, mainly because it was in the trailer, the Darkwood trailer, but we just watched the actual Darkwood trailer. Which, the Darkwood trailer is another thing to decipher. It's not like a huge thing to decipher, but definitely worth the time since it shows you that with the, you know, the protagonist changing that outfit and more, not necessarily more of the Wolfman's hideout, but to show you the Wolfman's hideout, different light. I must return to my hideout before nightfall. That's my hideout there. I could search these sides though still. It doesn't seem like there's any bodies tied to trees here. It seems like they're only at the dry meadow, which is curious. I mean, I do appreciate you elaborating on the fact that that is called lore for called. My brain stopped. I'm sorry. I'm just trying my best not to get lost and not to die right now while I'm risking extra time outside during the sun going down. Also, why do I get slowed here? You guys see that? Look at that. I've never seen that we get that status effect anywhere else except these question marks. Probably because it's like mushroom, like, you know, roots and stuff like that. I don't think there's anything else up here. I've never noticed that status effect when you're at those question marks. And that status effect only happens at these question marks. They don't happen anywhere else. I'm pretty convinced that this is just, yeah, the random road and there's nothing up there. I don't know if there's any lore to get from this road either. Empty jar, empty chocolate jar. Gram, 200 grams. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just like a jar. An empty jar that contained a chocolate-like product. Oh god, I didn't read it. Let me hold on, let me read it. Hope is time stopped? Yeah, time is stopped. I would like to read what this said. It's gonna take a while for me to get there. My stream is delayed, so I'm not gonna make you guys wait. We'll read it on the actual iceberg and talk about it on the iceberg. I never realized that. Time was stopped while I had that open, which is fun. We're gonna go straight down now. I say that, but I want to know if there's anything up here. I don't think so. I think that's just like a little corner again that leads to the road. Not the road, that leads with the road. But a little corner like this corner in the dry meadow that has nothing next to these logs below the burnt houses. This little like divot. It feels like that's all it's going to be. I will catch up with chat once we get back to the house. I know this is dangerous, but I wanted to quadruple check. Yeah, that really just feels like the rest of the road leading up, and nothing else interesting is there. Alright, I'm gonna do my best to get my way back home before the 20th. I probably won't get there. Generally, it doesn't look like I'll get there before the 20th, but hey, do our best. Is that the house? Dude, I don't know where the house is. It says I'm at the house. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Get out of here, mist. Yeah, when you escape this via the signal tower, you'll come across the towers tied to trees, and one person escaped the tree. And later on, you can see outsiders shoots outsiders shoot on a scarecrow, protagonists switches suits. I remember seeing that on the Darkwood trailer with the scarecrow and the outsider suits situation with the protagonist switching to it. Because that's what it looks like the trailer wears from the... Not the trailer. That's what it looks like the stranger wears from the trailer. This just looks like tonight's dogs. Bro, I would like to read the rest of chat, dog. Please just let me do that. That one, bro. Not worth a shotgun, dog. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're definitely not worth a shotgun. Let's just repair these things. There's something out there. I'm gonna heal real quick. That's just the one who escaped, I think. Oh, that's a good, see, that's very useful. If the protagonist, thinking about it like that, being the protagonist, being the one that escaped after, you know, the outsiders tied people to trees and one person escaped the tree, and later on you see the scarecrow. That's so good. That explains so much, dude. See, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong with Joe, but I'm almost confident that the Steam community post that you shared me doesn't say anything about that. About the fact that the you know, the outsiders were tying people to trees, and that the stranger changed outfits with the scarecrow, and that then, you know, the stranger is almost extremely likely to be the guy that escaped from the outsiders tying people to trees. Anyway, I need to catch up in chat. I'm sorry. I think I have a video on it where I investigate it. I'll post it in the Discord. Thank you so much, Richo. Also in the journal, he mentions the accident before the doctor finds him. The accident? Oh, we can't read that because the doctor ripped the pages of the journal. Fuck! That's cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we can't read that now. Can't read that now. Because the doctor ripped the pages away. So we can't read that. Okay, I gotta remember to read that every single time. On that, I sent in Discords. Never seen that cream chocolate flavor, 200 grams. You've never seen the chocolate like jar? Cream chocolate flavor, 200 grams. Thank you, Rock, whatever you know what it says. In the Discord, I found the ad of the chocolate cream you found. Thank you. Also in the Discord. Thanks again. And also, when you go for the genocide ending, the end credits say something along the lines, "Everyone died to a man in a scarecrow suit." I didn't know about that. We're gonna genocide ending on part of the Let's Play as well, but I didn't know that it said that. when you do the genocide ending, and I didn't know it had new dialogue with it was a man with a scarecrow suit. We just tied them, not outsiders. No, the military camp was attacked by savages, as seen by the skirmishers. The savages tied outsiders. Okay, okay. Thank you for clearing that up, because I got confused with that. I'm glad that you and Ridjo and Rogfrog already know about that, because I got confused. I get very easily confused with simple things like that. But yeah, that makes more sense where the military camp was run by outsiders, but then they were attacked by the savages, and the savages tied them up as a ritual, which is why there are people tied up in the dry meadow as a ritual to trees, and that would explain that they started in the dry meadow, or that would add on to the fact that they added that they started in the dry meadow. I think? Question mark. I don't remember anything before the attack. First page of the journal up on the genocide ending text. Yeah, we're gonna do an ending with the genocide ending at some point, but I didn't know we had that text in the game. That's so good. And then yeah, I don't remember anything before the attack. We'll read that once we restart the playthrough, the Let's Play, because we're gonna do disc 2. So I'm gonna make sure to read that once we do the Let's Play again. Thank you, team. Hello? Why are you here? You don't belong here. You don't belong here! More nails, the materials, more nails, the materials. Yeah, sure. There's a dog out there, I think. I can't read the first page of the journal. He tore out the pages. The doctor tore out the pages. When we went to the train wreck for the doctor's appointment, he tore out all the pages, so we can't read the first page of the journal. Oh wait, no, wait, never mind. That is there. September. Never mind. I'm just dumb. This says page 13 though, and this says page 14. But yeah, no, it's right here. Never mind. I'm dumb. Yeah, it says into these damn chapters and everything should go smoothly. I don't remember anything since the attack on our camp. Somehow I'm wearing a coat, so I must have changed my clothes on my way here. I don't recognize myself anymore. I can barely hold this pencil. Has my body changed? I no longer feel hunger or thirst. What has happened to me? Yeah, thank you. It's right here. I'm just blatantly missing what's right in front of my eyes. Thank goodness for the fact that I always try to check more than once. From then on, wooden crosses covered with a coat and the hat started appearing in the woods. They were usually accompanied by 3 black, beakless dead crows. There's different stuff for endings. The inhabitants of the woods believed these symbols protected them from a scarecrow lurking between the trees, suddenly taking the lives of everyone he encounters. Liz. Damn. All right. Anyway, we need to finish this night and then go into the sun and into the swamp. By the way, I'm not just being silent. I just forgot to unmute my mic after I was drinking water. I'm not just being silent to like try to kill a 2-stock. Yeah, thank you, Richo, thank you, Rogfrog, because with that information, it enlightens me and it puts everything together, and now practically everything makes sense. I'm sure there's a few things that I don't understand still, but I never knew about that fact. I never knew about this. Thank you for telling me again, Rogfrog, to read the first page of the journal, because I thought that wasn't the first page, because that was fucking that page 13 there at the bottom right, you know. Remember his face, the face of the man who saved me, then held me captive. I don't know how I managed to escape his hut and end up here. What I do know is that the insane fucker took my key. My intends to get out of here in the woods. He's out there, tore all the pages of my journal. I doubt that he was able to learn the location of the underground passage. Yeah, I thought these pages torn were after we went. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was apparent that I was confused and I thought this was what's it called? These pages, Lord Overlord. I thought these pages were ripped out after we went to the doctor's appointment instead of when we first met the doctor. Because this says day 1, and that makes complete sense for this being day 0. That's great. Into these damn savages, everything should go smoothly, and then it didn't go smoothly. It's so good. There's also a lot we need to cover with this journal. Maybe not a lot, but there is some good, what's it called, point of reference here for the stranger's personality, since he's the one writing all of this. Anyway, thank you again for helping me, everyone. I genuinely did not know about the stranger being captured and tied up like the outsiders after their camp got attacked by the savages, and him escaping. I knew about the scarecrow thing, but I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it had to do with anything. I mean, I was pretty confident his outfit was the scarecrow, but like I was like, huh? Why does this matter? What is the point of this? So I'm sure you can all understand my viewpoint. I'm assuming I already used the embryo in the oven at the Silent Forest. Or not the Silent Forest, at the Old Woods. Because we have 2 embryos to shed, this embryo, that embryo, and the one that's in the forest. I broke that one. I broke that one, and I broke that one. Yeah, we should have 3 of these big ones, so we don't have 3 of the big ones. That would mean, unless it's in the bag. It's not in the bag. Unless it's at the Silent Forest. Whatever, we have 2 embryos. That's all I need, dude. All I need is 2 embryos. Here, bam, cook. Bam, look. You get 640 essence from this one in the Old Woods hideout. That raises it for nothing. So we're gonna go to the swamp, and you're gonna see how much it raises. I'm gonna drop every worthless item on the floor before we leave. I'm not even gonna think about anything. I'm not gonna buy anything. There's no purpose to buy anything. I don't have enough. We're gonna throw everything that I don't need on the floor. I don't need most of this. Technically, I do need the lantern actually. I'm gonna repair this for good measure. We're gonna grab all the stuff. Yeah, swamp today, swamp today. Gonna grab all the stuff here. Oh, the embryo's on the floor. That's where that embryo was. It was on the floor. I was like, what did I do with that embryo, bro? Swamp today, swamp today. It was on the floor. Then we move these down. Put that one there. Where are the other 3 embryos? On the floor somewhere here, right? Yeah. Embryo. There's another embryo. So I'm gonna have to leave something behind. Probably gonna be this half-ass shotgun. Do you guys want to see what happens when you shoot the traitor? I'm sure. I don't know if everybody knows what happens. You need more shotguns. I do. Yes, shoot the traitor. I'm putting up a pole. No, don't shoot the traitor. Yeah, do you want to see what happens when you shoot the traitor? The poll's going up right now. I know what happens. I shoot everybody, team. In game, YouTube. Holy, relax, YouTube. I don't know if they're gonna be angry about that, but yeah. There's a poll. Vote for what you want to happen. I know what happens, so not a huge deal. Where's the other? There's another. Oh my. There's another embryo on the floor, and I don't know where it is. Carved meat, shovel, unlucky mushrooms, scrap metal, violin. Gas bottle, staff, scrap metal, staff. There was one more embryo. We had 3 in total because of the fact that the one that I picked up. So that's the only thing I'm missing from my inventory here is getting that last piece of an embryo. So I'm just gonna dump all this shit here. And by all of it, I mean all of it. That way I can look for that last embryo and make sure I take it with me. Oh, no, I don't have a last embryo. I just used it on the oven. I'm dumb. Thank you. I just used it on the oven. I was like, where is that piece? It doesn't exist because I used it on the oven. Everybody wants me. Why did it make yes shoot the traitor as a question mark? Everybody wants me to shoot the traitor. We're likely to shoot the traitor. We're gonna take these chicken eggs with me. Unless anybody else wants me to take any other item. I don't think there's any other item we should take. But before we take the chicken eggs, we're gonna shoot this man. Last chance to say no at shooting the traitor. Last chance if anybody wants to say no. For a few seconds, if anything, like 10 seconds, if anything. Most people want to say yes. Or most people are saying yes. Yeah, there's really nothing else for me to take that's worth it. This only would be getting these eggs. Alright, team. Shovel for digging! Oh yeah, we should bring the shovel for digging. Thank you! Oh! Thank you! Holy shit, I always forget about that. I always forget about that. Thank you, Rockfrog and Ridgel. I always forget about bringing a shovel because there's always digging spots there. Anyway, the poll's over. We're gonna shoot the man. We're gonna shoot the traitor. Hope you're ready for this. We're ready. There you go. Thank you for the shovel. Alright, we're leaving. Going to the dry meadow now. I always forget that there's digging spots over there. I don't need the eggs. I was just gonna take them for the memes. I mean, it's not really a funny meme. It's just for because, I don't know, just chomp down on eggs. Chomp down on raw eggs and gives you stamina. I don't know if chomping down on raw eggs would give me stamina. Get through this. Yeah, there we go. Yes? No? Yeah? Okay, good. I thought there was no pathway through that. And there was just gonna be those giant roots that get away from there. Someone says the traitor's someone quite familiar. Rog, are you fine with spoilers? How did that happen? We can talk about the spoilers in the Darkwood, yeah, in the Darkwood discussion channels. But I'm pretty confident. Oh, well, you don't need to pick that up. I'm pretty confident I know why that happened. I just don't want to spoil it for people. I mean, there are some people here that don't know what happened. That haven't experienced what happened after you get to the swamp and after you go into the underground entrance. So I don't want to spoil things too much. But you definitely a spoiler for what's it called? Why that happens when you shoot them. The good. I like that we did that though because I was kind of having trouble figuring out when I was gonna put that part of the story into the iceberg, since it's not really that apparent in any other situation besides when you shoot the traitor. But you'll know about it when we get to the iceberg, the Old Woods edition of the iceberg. That's for sure. It's gonna blow your mind, I hope. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good story for why that happens. It's hard to decipher it, and there's not a lot of examples. But it's pretty good when you figure it out. I say when you figure it out. I mean that's just the things that we think are true. Acid Pusher doesn't necessarily confirm this or that. Okay. Entrance. And yeah, like we said, I'm not looking around right now, but there are what's it called? People, savages tied up around the dry meadow, 2 trees, which are more likely most likely the outsiders that the savages tied up. And that's why we don't see any more of savages or people tied up to trees besides the dry meadow, because we didn't come across anything like that in the Old Woods. I don't even think we came across any bodies that were starving in the Old Woods. Anyway, we're going in, team. Thank you so much for sticking around for the stream. We got one more day to go in the swamp. Maybe. Depends. The thick wooden posts barely hold the soaked ground, and the tangled roots to construction seems on the verge of collapse. I missed a bit of the dialogue because I walked a little bit too far, but it's okay. It's okay. There's the boy. Part of the passage is blocked by overgrown, tangled roots. Oh. Do I go up? Do I go down? I go down here. I could put on the lantern, right? It's more immersive if I don't. And then there's the like growth or whatever. Where is that? Somewhere near here. Yeah, here. This thing. Which, for those of you who haven't seen this, I don't know what it is. Don't make any innuendos. I don't know what it is. Damn it, question mark, search. Gives on beat. I can put something in there, what the hell? Yeah, it's just question mark. I don't know if this is, you know, the stranger hallucinating that, or if that is real. But I think this is one out of only 2 locations where you get to see that. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Corpse has nothing on it. Also, there's one of those big mouths in here. Whoa, literally me. Yeah. I think there's only one or 2 locations where you see those mouths. No room in inventory. And that's just a dead end with roots. Part of the passage is blocked off by overgrown, tangled roots. Yup. Alright, team. I hope you're ready to see what's behind the 21 door, for those of you who haven't seen it yet. This is your moment, so bail if you don't want spoilers for not progressing yet. Talking about people who are alive or who are watching the Let's Play completely right now. Don't need any of that. We don't need it. Oh, actually, don't need it, but I do want it. Alright, we're just gonna go off of these and probably chuck a flare over there later. I've never seen this without the doctor, me showing the doctor the place, and the doctor messing up, you know, the underground entrance before you get here. Huge roots. White goo slowly seeps from the giant roots. It flows down the hallway as if guided by some unseen force. There's 3 of them in the game. One in the signal tower tells you something like you'll only have 1 chance before you hit the switch and fall asleep. Yeah, I didn't know if it was more than 2. Thank you for letting me know that there was 3 of them actually. I don't know where the second one is. Obviously the first one is in this dry meadow, you know, underground entrance situation. I don't know where the second one is. I didn't know there was one in the tower. I just don't remember any other ones besides the one in this dry meadow underground entrance. This guy though, this guy, he's a bro. New journal through the underground tunnel. I stumble upon something amongst the rubble. A strange soft item. So again, this is like you guys were saying, the ritual that the savages do with like people getting people tied up to a tree. The cross was what Rijo said before with the whole, you know, political stuff that the acid was brought up and that made a comment on. And then this, I'm assuming this is a shiny stone. If it's not a stone, it's if it's not a shiny stone, it's a stone that looks like the shiny stone, which is why the savages are obsessed with this. There's 3 of them. By the way, there's no enemies. First one is here. Second one is the single tower. The final dream scene. The third one is in the final dream scene. Okay, I didn't know there was one at the final part of the game. But yeah, I know there's no enemies in here. There's only the sound effects. But thank you for putting that in chat for people who think or who might, you know, be afraid of dying and hear the enemies. The tunnel has collapsed recently. The reinforced steel protruding from the debris has not been recovered with rust yet. When I gaze into the tunnel, I notice a silhouette of a man on the ground. Suddenly, the man snaps to life as if woken up from a deep slumber. Who goes there? I hear faint, unnaturally distorted male voice. Are you one of them? The man attempts to get up but fails. I can see him desperately flailing his limbs around. It's as if his back has been glued to the ground. No, please! As I approach him, he shovels his legs back, his legs nervously as if trying to retreat into the collapsed tunnel. I didn't do anything. I beg you. I just want to pass to get back to my family. Retreat is blocked, the only way out. The only path home. Oh wait, I forgot that was his voice. The tree is blocked, the only way out. The only path home, a huge talking tree. I begged it to let me pass, but it wouldn't listen. I could not understand what it was saying to me, so we came here. The man props himself up on his elbows with a huge effort. He tries to straighten his body, but something is firmly holding him by the back and the neck. I can't get up. Probably someone's copy who wanted to escape via the tunnels and was shot by the outsiders. Wasn't this confirmed more than, or not confirmed, but weren't people talking about this more like that this guy was a part of the military, a part of the outsiders, because the outsiders are the military? The man drops onto the rubble and goes silent. He clenches his fist. My head hurts. The man places his hand on his forehead and heals a strange dent above his left brow. He freezes. What is this? Carefully inserts his index finger into the hole. His eyelid twitches. My stone. I hear a sound as if an eggshell cracking. The forehead bends under his hand. The stranger pushes another finger into the hole. A thick goose spews from the wound. I can hear his skull cracking. My little stone. I mean, he literally said he wanted to escape to his family, so... I mean, the outsiders in the military can have family. The man slowly removes his fingers from the hole in his head. A colorless ooze dripping from them. He's holding something, a round object. That's why. He swings his left hand and throws the object at me. A small, irregular ball bounces off my arm and lands at my feet. Looks like a bullet, but it's soft. The bullet is the reason why I would say, you know, it's someone's copy, or just a regular villager trying to escape through the tunnels. But I remember people talking about this as if this guy was a part of the outsiders and the military. Thank you, Rijo, for helping me out with that as well. This is what's put me to sleep. His head lifelessly drops to the concrete floor of the destroyed tunnel and goes still. The tunnel is completely caved in. I will not be able to break through this way. I'll need to find another. Thank you for the emote, Richo. Alright, team. We're in. Big sign on the door reads closed area. Demons? I just wanted to pass. Also, return to my family. Yeah, that's why we know that this is a clone. Because you see here, that's an actual person out being made from the goop that was seeping from the tunnels. That's a copy of the real, like, villager, the real human that got shot. That's why we can hear it here. Because that's what I think. That's what I think anyway. I think that's like an actual person, the guy that has the bullet in his head instead of a copy. And these things, like this guy's another copy that would have said, "I just wanted to pass, return to my family." That's another one that would have said it. And you know, that's like a blatant example of the forest copying not only things but people, and you know, having those voices go through. There's really nothing else to worry about here. Yo, what up, friend? I just wanted to pass. Also, I remember what was on the subreddit as a joke. I just wanted ass, which is kind of funny in my eyes when people posted that in the subreddit. Instead of reading "I just wanted to pass," it was just "I just wanted ass." I would make the copies though. I mean, I feel as if the first guy is a copy due to the way he talks, stuff like "my little stone" and "this put me to sleep." True, that is a good point. The reason why the forest would make copies is the same reason why you would know. I don't know if you read it yet, Rock, but why that happened with the trader. The thing with the trader will correlate with the reason why the forest will make copies. I don't have any other explanation besides that. I don't know if Rijo can help with that explanation on why it's trying to make copies of things. But it would be spoilers, and we would have to save that until for the Discord server, or until we get to that part of the game in the stream, in the Let's Play. I cannot pick up the stone. Any stone tied to the wood cross. You know, like the ritual that the savages do, tying people to trunks, tea trunks, and the shiny stone being, you know, the what the savages are obsessed with, which is something I just learned from, you know, you guys, which is why I'm repeating it. All right, team. We made it! I mean, I feel as if the first guy is a copy. No, I did read that one. Yeah, there's an in-game file that says that like 70 or 80% of all trees are actually copies. Yeah. That's why the area is blocked off with all those trees, because it's just the final part of the game where you find out what's, you know, making the forest doing the thing. We'll explain it when we get there. You'll see it in the iceberg. Thank you for being patient though and watching the stream. Sadly, I will be finishing here today. I believe it's literally here in a wardrobe or something. Here? Yeah, sadly we're gonna be ending the stream here today. I wanna know if well, actually, we're gonna put our stuff in the workbench and, you know, try to set up a little bit, but we are gonna end the stream here. We're not really gonna explore too much. And look, there's a free lantern in there. Who would have thunk it? Oh, let's put this at the bottom. Put you here. Put these guys here. Put the shell here. Alright. On the workbench. In here? There's nothing in that wardrobe. Anything back here? No, that's the room that we can't open until later. Or unless we do the other thing with the musician. And here's the map. The new biome. This is the swamp. Yeah, there's an in-game file that says that like 78% or 80% of trees are actually copies. I believe it's literally here in the wardrobe or something. I know that the wolfman is probably the copy of the hunter and the missing wolf head from the trophy. Yo, the free lantern is probably for that crate with the goop if you wouldn't have the lantern usually. Oh. I thought that was what the like called. What's it called? The torch was for, yeah, the torch. I use with alcohol. Definitely need that. Take the free knife. Tobacco. Whose backpack is this? We want to get rid of that. Does the torch get rid of? I don't think the lantern gets rid of this though. Oh, it does get rid of this. You're right. Looks like the light has burned the shell away. I didn't know that. I didn't know that lantern just got rid of that. Flare. Gas. Gasoline. I should pick up everything instead of just leaving random items on the floor. And then, thank you Richard for letting me know about that, by the way. And then we're gonna use the oven. Look at the radio. It's covered in a thick layer of dust. It looks like no one has used it for a long time. But it smells of warm plastic and burnt wires. We're gonna use the oven and we're gonna show you the difference. So this does 2,560 in terms of essence. Good night, Frog. I'm still catch up with the chat, but I just wanted to make sure you heard me say good night. Good luck with your day tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out all as long as you did, practically the entire stream. I hope to see you on Wednesday when we do the conscript stream, because we won't be streaming tomorrow. He also has the fake wedding ring. The crate in here has that goop moves away with the light. There's actually a hidden crate underneath the wardrobe. Oh, I didn't know there's a hidden crate underneath the wardrobe. We'll look at that. I didn't know that the crate gets what's it called, has the goop removed with light. I thought it was just fire. Light Roggy, have a good one. Thank you for saying good night to Rog, Rijo, and Tequila Shot. But yeah, underneath the wardrobe is a hidden container, and there's a skeleton outside holding loot. Yes, I remember that skeleton underneath this wardrobe. Yeah, this wardrobe. Thank you for reminding me. I never remember this. A note with a photo of signs. 12 September 1984, we found new signs. 17 kilometers west of the hideout. 32 points, 12. I don't know, catalogs pattern A34H, 6 unidentified pattern, simple scribblings of a madman. That's what it says. Oh wait, is that why? I remember that now, that this is why we see those signs and those scribblings on like parts of the map. But yeah, thanks again for that. We're gonna go check out the body outside as well. Well, not that, don't do that. I never use those. Oh, but yeah, like I said, I got sidetracked. We get 2,500 essence from this. I mean, it doesn't get us full, but it's a lot more than the one in the old woods. I'm assuming you don't mean the corpse outside that is there. Assuming you mean another corpse out here. Burned book. This is the book from the trader, and not the trader, from the doctor and the doctor's camp. This is why I wanted to do the part with the doctor coming here without me letting him come here first, because I normally don't do this. We normally don't find these camps and these pieces of data. Because this is the one we found at the prologue. I don't know where the dead body is besides the dead body, you know, the dead body. I'm gonna say what dead body until we can actually, grab that. Well, I'm pretty confident it's not that one, because that body doesn't show up until we actually spend a day here. Pretty confident there's another body that has loot. Oh, in the middle of the hideout. I don't know why I always remember that skeleton being like out here or out like at that corner down there. It is this skeleton. Note. Map is outdated. It must have been prepared around 2 years ago. The woods have changed considerably since then. Moreover, it's so ragged it's barely readable. However, I think I can make out the position of the cottage near the junkyard and the village with the tree, with that quote-unquote tree. Day 1. 1,315 hours. The compressor is broken. So is the lock on the trapdoor leading to the underground. Had to use a blowtorch. Fucking moisture. Day 2. 1,200 hours. We took 45 photos of the quote-unquote tree from the observation point in the vicinity of 3C. It grew twice its size in a month. Really quick for the local standards. This is really useful for original. Day 2. 1,520 hours. Or 1,500 hours. No, wait, these are time. No, this is time. 1300 hours, 1,200 hours. That's what that is. It's military time. Not military time. It's 24-hour clock. I didn't see the thing. I should not be looking, but I can't help it. Yeah, this is a lot of spoilers, Tequila Shot. That's why I wanted to notify you and anybody else who may be watching the Let's Play series. Yeah, these are times. See, that's, 1,200 hours. So, that's 12 in the afternoon. 13:15 would be 1:15 in the afternoon, I think. And then 15:20 would be like, what? 4:20 in the afternoon? I think. Or not 4:20, 3:20 in the afternoon. What am I on? Day 2, yeah, 1,520 hours. I don't know how to read that. I don't know how to read those kinds of numbers, sorry. I'm slowly running out of oxygen. I've sent 2 men to search the nearby junkyard. Maybe we won't have to go back for spare parts for the compressor. Watch out for the cottage near the junkyard. Marked building on the map. Someone could be living there. Day 2, 1,812 hours, 1,812 hours, I don't know. At least 10 locals lurking between the trees. How do they know about us? We won't be able to gather our equipment in time. The risk of getting detected is too high. Need to evac. I'm assuming this was written right before the stranger got attacked by, and not the stranger himself, but the stranger and the outsiders he was a part of, who are the military. This was written before they got attacked by the savages, and the people that they call quote-unquote locals on day 2 are just said savages. I could be wrong though. Now, this is one of those games where even if you had all the lore, you'll have to watch a 6-hour video to understand it. Yeah, this is one of those games where even if you see every little tidbit of items, you won't be able to figure it out unless you spend a lot of hours on it. Because I've been spending so much hours on it, and I have way less hours than Virgil does on it, and I don't understand half of it. But we're trying. I'm trying. Thanks to the community, I was able to, make progress with that information. I think this is it, team. We won't be able to see this room back here because we didn't do the part with the musician. But I think this is it, team. I don't think there's anything else that we can, search or read or any other items. Those are what explain the tree growth and everything like that. Anything else we're gonna have to do with actual repairs. However, before we hop off, I'm gonna pop off and actually, for once, read the entirety of the journal entries. We're gonna do it again before we get to the final part of the game, obviously, but I'm gonna read all the journal entries now before I end the stream. So we start with the pages that were torn, and this is after, by the way, this whole journal thing is after this item. After this note. So this note is the beginning of our journal practically. I don't know if the stranger or the protagonist wrote this note, but I know that this happened and all this is cataloged before the stranger wrote in his in his journal about getting attacked and stuff like that. Yeah, but I swear there's definitely a file somewhere. I'll probably send it to you on Discord if I find it. That says something about trees percentage. We'll figure it out. We'll have plenty of streams and plenty of blood space to be able to figure it out. What I want to know though, if this is a real map in real life, because it seems like that's something the developers would do. This looks like an actual town. Looks like actual coordinates. It looks like an actual location. And I don't think anybody's looked into this because obviously it's in Poland and it's in other locations that people are not, normally from when it comes to looking at social media and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, before we ended up reading the journal, this is before all this information that I just read is before we pop off with our own journal from the protagonist. Don't know if the protagonist wrote that note. I don't think it's the begging note. I think the doctor definitely has them, but I don't know. I think it isn't this one. I know this isn't the beginning note as in the sense for the start of the journal, the note that was ripped off, right? As you're saying. But I also know that this was the note that other outsiders wrote, other people of the military wrote before we ended up doing our own journal. So I'm trying to get at. But thank you, Ridjo. Yeah, I'm just trying to say that this note was written before our journal. I don't think this is the ripped off note that the doctor took, like you said. I'm pretty sure the doctor has that. I was just giving a time frame for people. And yeah, this is based on 1987 because he literally writes right there, 1987. Into these damn savages, everything should go smoothly. I don't remember anything since the attack on our camp. Somehow I'm wearing a coat. I must have changed my clothes on my way here. I don't recognize myself anymore. I can barely hold this pencil. But I changed. I no longer feel hunger or thirst. What has happened to me? We're going to talk about what he means by has my body changed I mean, if you saw the mirror that we interacted with in the show, that is part of how his body changed, and his face is covered either in like white mycelium or the goop from the tree, or it's wood. Okay, okay. I thought you were talking about our very own journal. Yeah, I was saying like I'm pretty sure that's not the protagonist who wrote it, but I was talking about our very own journal. I just don't think I was very clear on the fact that I was like pretty confident that no, it wasn't written by the protagonist. I wasn't very clear on that part. But I still appreciate you bringing it up. I remember his face, the face... Wait, no, it says, yeah, I have my change and no longer feel hunger or thirst. What has happened to me? But this happened before we got kidnapped from the doctor. So this was before we passed out in the forest, and then this is where we got grabbed by the doctor. I remember his face, the face of the man who saved me, then held me captive. I don't know how I managed to escape his hut and end up here. What I do know is that that insane fucker took my key. Only chance to get out of the woods. He also tore out all the pages from a journal. I doubt that he was able to learn the location of the underground passage. Though I should check if the door is still locked just to be sure, which is why we get sent to the underground passage at the beginning of the game. Because I know not everybody reads the journal. I know people don't end up pressing the journal button. Actually, when does the game give you the tutorial for reading journal? I can't remember if it ever does give you that tutorial. We'll check if the door is still locked. I must go find him. I don't think he still lives in the same place where he held me. Makes no difference since I have no idea how to get back to that bio place and the wolf. My mind must be going if I'm not delusional. The man who I met had the head of a wolf. He had told me he will help me get the key back. I just need to get through to the other side of the forest. I am to meet him in the southern part of the southern forest. I should explore the surroundings before venturing forth and not wish to act too hasty. This is in your journal whether or not you talk to the wolf in his camp or he shows up to your hideout, which I think is I mean, I don't know, I think it's good that it's the same. Whether you meet him when it's in the morning in your hideout or whether you, what's it called, find him in his camp. And it's nights. I need to be back to my hideout before nightfall. Wandering here at night is too risky. The forest exhibits increased activity after dark. Only the protective gas in my hideout can provide me with relative safety. And yeah, that's when we mentioned the protective gas, is the protagonist writing it on the journal itself. No, but nobody else mentions the protective gas, even with the oven that they have on other, like, the wedding locations and stuff like that, and in the village. The wolf's offer. The wolf has asked me to bring him the key to the locked room in the house of the hag that reeks of chickens. In exchange for this favor, he will help me retrieve my key. A key for a key seems quite fair. I shall find the hag in the village in the southwestern edge of the forest. The only way he helps you though for that key for a key is by telling you where the doctor is. He doesn't really help you at all, but they're telling you the doctor's location. Even though you can just come across the doctor's location, he'll give you the code? Question mark. I think he'll give you the code for the doctor's location though. I don't remember how he does that. I haven't done that path in a long time. Piotrek, now I've heard everything. I met a boy named Piotrek. He told me he's building a rocket. But he's missing some parts. From what I understand, he's constructing a rocket from parts of a broken tractor. It's absurd, but I think I may help him. The lady's brother. The old lady who lives with chickens told me that the plastic chick belongs to her brother who went missing a few days ago. Give me a photo of the person she saw him last with its local the what? He gave me a photo of the person she saw him with last. Oh, she saw him last with. It's the local doctor. Yeah, okay, that's just in a weird order. I recognize the fucker. That's the same guy that got kidnapped. Yeah. Old lady who lives with the chickens told me the plastic chick belongs to her brother. So that's what we found out, and she says that the chicken lady says that she gave it to her brother. Strange boy, but we don't see anybody else with a plastic chicken on them to be able to be like, oh, this is a family member of the chicken lady and Janek. There's nobody else that has a plastic chicken on their body. I met a boy in the village. He told me that the chicken lady keeps the pretty lady locked in her house. The boy really wants to see her, but the old woman won't allow it. He asked me to find the key to her room. He will wait for me in his hideout in the grain silo. Yeah, that's not really that important. Key there, the chicken lady's locked room. The boy revealed to me that I will find a spare key to the locked room in the chicken lady's house inside the village. Well, it sounds absurd, but it's the only lead I have. So you won't know about that unless you read this and the what's it called, the musician tells you about it. Now the code in the Wolfman's Path is in the doctor's cottage. They're all in the doctor's cottage, and they tell you, and the Wolfman tells you where the doctor's cottage is. Thank you for reminding me of that. Numbers on the floor, and then you can have to figure out the passcode to the locked underneath the floor to go to the train wreck. Yeah, I forgot. I mixed up between the fact that he leads you to the doctor's cottage, aka the doctor's house, and the doctor's, you know, or in the train wreck. But yeah, thank you for correcting me with that, Richo. He leads you to the doctor's cottage, the doctor's house, and then you find the train wreck on your own. Which again, he doesn't really help you. I mean, unless you want to like give him the credit for picking up the rock and removing it from the doctor's house, but then it's like, who picks up the rock and who removes it from the doctor's house if you kill the chicken lady? It's not that important. Pretty sure killing the chicken lady is just a failsafe. Local doctor's photo. The boy with the body later recognized the local doctor on the photo given to me by the chicken lady. He claims he's a good man, mostly helping the villagers. He helped me too, and then he snatched my fucking key. Damn, the protagonist is still salty. The key for the boy. I decided to give the key to the chicken lady's room to the little boy. He thanked me and asked me to bring him his mom's violin. It's hidden behind the wardrobe. He's afraid to go himself as his parents are supposedly angry with him. Give me a card to present to his mother as an apology. The parents' house can be found in the northeastern part of the old woods. If I bring him the violin, he will get me an appointment with a doctor. He did damn better. Appointment. The boy sure was happy to see the new violin. Time to visit the doctor. The bastard resides in the abandoned train in the northeastern part of the old woods. And this is when we don't get to see the house. If we do those musicians, so if we do the musician, you do not get to see the doctor's house. Which is these are the little nuances that we need to learn about. Thank you for the emotes, Richo. Perhaps I shall finally get back what's mine. The kid also told me I should visit him in his parents' home someday, and then we don't get any follow up on that. The underground door. Looks like I've revealed the location of the underground entrance to the doctor. He must have drugged me. Fuck this! I must reach it before him if I am to have any chance of escaping this accursed place. Through the underground tunnel. Day 77. I managed to walk a few good kilometers through the underground tunnels, but further passage is blocked by growing roots. Despite this, I feel that I'm closer to my destination. Way home. While in the underground passage, I met a peculiar man. He acted strangely. I heard about talking tree. Underground passage. I met a what? Through the underground tunnel, I managed to walk a few good kilometers to the underground tunnels. Oh, okay, you're talking about when we're going through. Okay, that makes sense. Emerged on the path to some house in the village. Wait. On the underground passage, I met a particular man. He had a strange tree, but I read about a talking tree which emerged on the path from house in the village. I need to investigate it. Yeah, okay. This all makes sense now. I finally got out of the tunnels. The hatch sealed itself shut behind me. I am now at the swamp in an abandoned hideout. Old journal. I found an abandoned journal in the swamp hideout. I managed to mark the village with the tree on the map. What is this drawing though? Like all the other drawings make sense of the stranger, right? What is this drawing? Like what is it? Everything else makes sense in the terms of what it's referencing, but why did the stranger draw this? Obviously you can see a mouth and you could see, I don't know, you can see a mouth. You could assume that this is a tree when you go into the dream and it chomps down, but that's all you can assume. On the map, thanks to it, bar parts for the compressor. The old journal also included information about a cottage located near the junkyard. According to the notes, we'll be able to find some spare parts or spare compressor parts there. They might come in handy. Broken compressor. I found a broken compressor unused to fill oxygen tanks. And that's it, team. All right, we'll be calling it here. Thank you again, everybody. I need to save on the oven. Give me a second. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out and watching the stream while we try to decipher the lore and find out new information. I appreciate everybody who helped and everybody who asked any questions and everybody who reminded me. What a lore trip, right? And everybody who reminded me of the things that I forgot to grab before we came here to double check, like the embryo and other situations. I hope you all enjoyed. I will not be streaming, like I said, tomorrow, and we will not be streaming Darkwood or doing any Let's Plays on Darkwood until this October ends. We won't be streaming on Tuesday, like I said, tomorrow, and we won't be streaming on Friday either. On Wednesday and on Thursday, we'll be streaming Conscript. On Wednesday, I'll be streaming normally, and on Thursday, I'll be streaming when I normally end the stream, or an hour or two. I'll try to do an hour or two before that, like before the 1 p.m. time on my time, before now that it is for you. I'll try my best to do it 1 or 2 hours before this hour. Next week on Thursday anyway, and then things will be normal for the rest. I don't think I have anything else to say. Thank you all for joining the Discord and putting up with that. You guys are just gonna be crazy. Yeah, that's why I made it 19 tiers. Just getting to the bottom is gonna be crazy. So we're gonna cover a lot of the in-depth stuff from the Silent Forest and the Old Woods, but there's gonna be a lot of stuff that I need to cover that people won't be able to put together without just looking at the notes and random pictures that you get thrown at you. Anyway, again, hope you all enjoyed. Good luck with your day. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you again on Wednesday for Conscript. Later.